Go live. The stream keeps delaying. Okay, third time's a charm. Third time's a charm with this stream. And if it doesn't work this time, we'll try it again. But I think this time we got it. I think this time we got it. I think we got the live stream back. Let me just post it up for everyone who's probably wondering what the hell just happened. Ah, that was fun. That was fun. Doing that 3 times in a row. Third time's the charm. Everyone finally fixed the stream. Okay. Public. Sorry again, everyone, for the stream problems. Was testing out a new visual, and, well, this happened. But, okay. Finally got the stream working. That felt good after fucking around with it for 45 minutes. Oh, God, that's great. But how are you guys doing finally? Sorry it took that long for it to get started. And now I have to wait for people to rejoin the stream because I kept having to cancel it. Yeah, hey Tire Droid, what's up? I finally got the stream working. It just took 3 tries. 3 tries, multiple heartaches, some dead bodies, and I'm pretty sure my neighbors are gonna get in the mood soon because they love when I struggle. Gina H, hello again. Hello. Hello. I'm gonna make sure I have to go through my Discord because it probably posted the stream 4 different times at this point. It did. It did post the stream multiple different times. That's lovely. Marine. Ah, fuck me. Yeah. Yeah, I do that every single time I see your name. I see Marine Kuch Keech Cut. I am not good at pronouncing your name. How you doing? Happy football, because it's football where you are. No, that's soccer. Yeah, we're back. I had to restart the stream a 4th time, a 5th time, because it was not working for me on my end. But, I'm going to count this as the Super Bowl curse, because I hate Super Bowl. I hate sports. I hate watching sports, so, yeah. I think it's the revenge of the sports. It's the revenge of the Super Bowl. As they destroy my stream, with their dirty Palpatine hands. I'm going to stop talking about Palpatine now, because he gives me the creeps. It's called football. Yes, it is called football. Okay, no more sports talk. I'm banning it from my stream, unless we are shitting on sports. I'm kidding for all you sports fans out there. No, I'm not. I don't like sports. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a Star Wars nerd. I don't care about sports that much. Soccer is the only. Marie Kutch there. Oh, we're back. Tired Droid. Are you more excited for Marvel going forward or about the same? Yeah, no, I can't say I'm excited for Marvel. I'm not gonna lie. I can't say I'm excited for Marvel. There are some things Marvel is doing that I'm more excited about for Star Wars. I'm excited about Captain Marvel 2 because I love the director of that. I'm also worried about Captain Marvel 2 as well. I'm worried and excited about Captain Marvel 2, so it's kind of a mixed bag there. Like I'm excited for the director. I love her. She's one of my favorite like low-key directors. But like I I want to see what they're going to do with the writing of Captain Marvel 2 first. Like I didn't hate Captain Marvel 1. Like I'm not one of those people who didn't like it. I liked parts of Captain Marvel, but I only liked the parts with Maria, Monica, and Carol. Like those were the interesting parts to me. The rest of Captain Marvel was, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. Oh, look, you screwed up Captain. You screwed up Nick Fury's eye story. Well, I didn't need that story told, but okay. So yeah, when it came to I'm excited for Captain Marvel 2. WandaVision, I love that show. It's weirdly addicting, and I thought I would hate it. Like when I heard the marketing for it, it's a return to traditional TV. My first thought was, oh shit, they're going all racist. But I'm glad it turned out to be pretty good actually. Let's go to the comments. Oh god, you guys are talking about sports again. Here Masa. I'm excited for the Sam and Bucky show because I love them. Otherwise, about the same. Okay, Sam and Bucky, I'm actually excited for. Like, I'm a little worried for it because I'm worried for basically anything TV show that's Marvel because of their budget. But I love Anthony Mackie. I like his chemistry with Sebastian Stan. I love their characters. They should probably hook up. That would make me happy. If like Bucky and Sam hooked up, that would make me very happy. I would be 100%ly down for that. Like, please do it. My only worry is I hope they don't make Sharon Carter some weird love triangle between them, because that would just be stupid. Don't do my boys like that. Don't do them dirty. But I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be good. You got Zemo in it. It's probably going to be more of the traditional MCU. Like, if they can capture the same spirit as the Winter Soldier, I think I'm going to love it. Bacasta. God damn, it's this person that I can't pronounce their name. I'm kidding, Bacasta. I love you. At least I'm early now. Yes, you are. You're actually late. This is my third attempt at a stream, so you're actually late. Shame on you. Gina H. Oh, wait, I'm still in the starting soon. Why did you guys not tell me? There we go. We're still in the starting soon. I am a terrible streamer. Why do you people put up with me? Why do you people put up with me? You guys should beat me up. Especially you, Gina. You should beat me up. You know what? I'm going to give you an address. I'm going to drive all the way there, and you can beat me up. I will let you. I will bring you a crowbar, a pineapple, and a stick of butter. And you can beat me with that. I give you permission. Bacasta, the Super Bowl is but a means to get new trails for things that actually are important. You are right. You are very right. Marine, so me. Sam plus Bucky show, Nick Fury show, more WandaVision. Yeah. Wait, hold on. We're getting a Nick Fury show. What? Oh! Yes! Yes! Give me all that Nick Fury. Give me that one-eyed pirate. Yes! Why did no one tell me that? Why did no one tell me we are getting a Nick Fury show? I love me some Samuel L. Jackson. Okay. Okay, Marvel, you got me interested. Last time I steal that dog. Okay. Hiriko Masa, the War Machine show looks up. We are getting a War Machine show. Why did no one tell me that? We are getting a show led by Don Cheadle. I love you, Don. I love Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle, if you happen to come upon this stream of unholiness and bad connection, I I would be much appreciated if you know that I love you and I want to hug you. I want you to be my grandpapa. Uh, Marine, I am worried about Miss Marvel being in it and why. Uh, I'm a little worried about Miss Marvel being in Captain America too. I'm a little worried about Miss Marvel. Like, not the character, not the actress. I'm just worried that they're turning every single Marvel show into like mini Avengers. And I get it. I do get it. This is what Marvel is like. This is what comic book stories are like. They have multiple heroes in it. I'm just worried because every single time they do an Avengers like lineup, it's more about the spectacle and scale and not about the characters. And Captain Marvel, if there was one problem that Captain Marvel 1 had, it's that we didn't get as much time as we could have with Marie and Monica, with Monica and all those people. And I'm just like, I'm worried. I'm worried. Like, I'm seriously worried. But you know what? I will. Ow, that hurt my ears. You know what? I'll give it time. Maybe it will go good. Maybe it will go horrible. Maybe Marine will cry that she hates it there when they screw it up. But you know what? I'm open to everything. I'm open to everything. So, fingers crossed. I gotta move that label box there. There we go. I made the chat box bigger so you guys can see what everyone is saying. Because it is small as fuck. There we go. There's the bigger chat box. That's what we like. Okay, let's go back to the chat. Oh man, you guys talk a lot. I love it. Ninth Doctor, the Chinese god. If they insist on telling us what would happen with Nick Fury's eye, they should have waited until they were doing X-Men, so it could have been Wolverine who did it. Yeah, I mean, I get why. I think they were really trying to go for humor with Captain Marvel. It really seemed like with Captain Marvel, it's one of my complaints. They were all over this place. They wanted to do a buddy cop story with Nick Fury and Carol, but they also wanted to do this like gaslighting story between I think his name is Marvel. I don't know. He's British. The only white guy in the entire movie they want besides Ben Mendelsohn. They wanted to do a story between like Carol and her mentor and like gaslighting thing, and then they wanted to do this really emotional, poignant, moving story between Maria, Monica, and Carol. And I kind of think that's where they should have stayed focused on personally. But yeah, I think they wasted Nick Fury's eye. Yeah, I agree with that. Marine, oh god, no love triangle. I would puke. I would vomit. I would vomit. I would vomit if they did that. I would vomit if they did that. I'd be surprised if there was more than passing mention of her. But good point. Oh yeah, there's a Hiraka Masuda. I need to give you guys different colored avatars. Insanely Red. I don't like the MCU, but The Winter Soldier is the only film I'll enjoy. I have mixed feelings on the MCU. Parts of it I like, parts of it I don't like, but I think they've done some good. I love Iron Man 1. I love The Winter Soldier. I appreciate the Guardians of the Last Galaxy because if we didn't get that weird comedic style, we probably wouldn't have gotten, Thor Ragnarok. Even though I have some complaints about Thor Ragnarok. Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth are not two of those complaints, though. Marine, no, I want a Nick Fury show. Okay, if you are messing with me, is there a Nick Fury show or not, Marine? I swear if you are messing with me, I will haunt you. I will haunt you. I will haunt you for the rest of your days. Tired Droid, what are your thoughts on the X-Men franchise? It's a mixed bag for me, but hopefully Marvel handles them well. Okay, I have mixed feelings about it. It doesn't help that Bryan Singer is, a sick bastard, so that actually hurts my opinion on the X-Men franchise because, like, I know it's the whole separate art from the artist thing, but yeah, the fact that he was doing what he was doing makes me uncomfortable where it makes it hard for me to enjoy the movies now in retrospect. But I liked X-Men 1 and 2. I hated 3. I thought they wasted basically everything of 1 and 2. I hated X-Men Origins. I like the James Mangold Wolverine movies. I love them. And I really love that those are Elseworld stories. Like, a lot of people got confused about the continuity of Logan, but like Logan is not set after Days of Future Past. It's like its own little story. And I know some people liked the way Days of Future Past ended, and yeah, I'll admit, as a happy ending, that one's the best. You know, you just edit out the apocalypse part. But, you know, I think it did okay. I think if the story ends at X-Men Apocalypse, it's pretty good. I think if you go to, you know, Dark Phoenix, it screws it all up, though. That was a train wreck. Bacasta, also War Machine will be in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So, okay, so he's getting his own spin-off show, and he's going to be in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Okay, I can deal with that. I love Don Cheadle. I can deal with that. Marine, but I do remember they announced something. Marine, you're killing me. You're killing me, Marine. You're actually killing me. You're stabbing me in the heart with a burning pineapple. I want you to know that. You're stabbing me in the heart with a burning pineapple. And it hurts me. It hurts me a lot. Oh, so many shits. Okay, let's go to Insanely Red. Bro, didn't you watch the Disney announcement show? No, I didn't watch the Disney announcement show. I don't watch the investor call meetings either. I don't. I have a very fractured relationship with Disney. Like, on the one hand, they have made some of my favorite stories. Like, they really have. On the other hand, they have destroyed my rectum for the last 5 years with Star Wars and Age of Ultron, and some parts of Endgame, if I'm going to be honest. So, I am hurting. My rectum is hurt by Disney, and it's still recovering. Hiriko Masuda. Yes, Don Cheadle's going to be in another show that I thought focused on him as War Machine. No. I don't know. I don't follow the Disney stuff like that when it comes to the MCU, but if it is, I will be very happy. Gina H. X-Men franchise needs a huge reboot. If not for WandaVision, I would have started with House of M. Now I don't know. Yeah, here's my theories on what WandaVision is doing. I think WandaVision is setting up a reverse House of M. I think that instead of it ending with Wanda saying no more mutants, we're going to have Wanda bringing mutants into reality. Because Wanda is stronger than I don't know what her power scale is. They seem to don't want to define it in the MCU. It's kind of all over the place. Because the MCU that we see in WandaVision is a lot more stronger than the Wanda we saw in Civil War. So it's just kind of rather confusing. I don't know what they're doing with her power set, but I think that WandaVision and Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, is going to be transitioning the mutants in. Because, listen, I know that the MCU deviates from the comics in a lot of different ways, sometimes good, sometimes problematic, but one thing I give the MCU is that the way they deviate is usually for longevity. They do it so there are future stories. And meanwhile, you have Star Wars that just cuts everything off at the knees because they hate everything. Okay. I'm kidding about Star Wars. I do like Disney. I do like parts of Disney Star Wars. It's just I am still really hurt by the sequel trilogy. I am. Marine, I think what's important is to explore Carol as a character, and that is, in my honest opinion, very closely connected to Monka, and should have been to Maria. Yeah, I agree. When exploring about Captain Marvel, the most important relationship is the relationship she had, well, with Maria and Monica. And I'm sorry it's unpopular opinion, but like, I just didn't care about a lot of the other parts of her relationships because I didn't understand. I liked the buddy stuff with Nick Fury, but I'm like, when you compare that to the stuff she had with Maria and Monica, it just didn't seem like as much. Likewise, with the stuff with the scroll, like that was just nonsensical at times. But the stuff with Maria and Monica actually made it feel like the story had heart, and I think that's where it was at its best. Why is every time I move this chat it goes so crazy? Okay. There we go. Marine, about the MCU, I think some movies are really good, some are meh in my honest opinion. Yeah, some are meh in my honest opinion too. I'm gonna start speed throwing these chats though, because I've missed a lot. But Costa, I get why they killed Maria because they'd have to make the actress wear makeup to make her look old all the time. I disagree. I do not like that Maria was killed. I mean, I didn't like how they killed Maria. If Maria had to die, let her die in battle. Let her die on screen. Let her die in some heroic fashion. But to just kill her off, it robs Monica of a mother-daughter relationship, which, let's face it, we have no mother-daughter relationships in almost any franchises. And if we do have them, they're probably pretty problematic, but we don't have any of them. And Maria was a good character. I mean, they could have found ways around the aging too. I don't know what they could have done if they did have to kill her off, but they could have done anything than just killed her off screen. But personally, since I think there was no body, there's no telling if Maria is actually dead, in my opinion. No body, off screen, she's probably somehow going to come back. I'm pretty sure Captain Marvel 2 might start with Monica saying somehow Maria Lambert has returned. That's my opinion, though. Gina H., tell us your views on Doctor Strange. The true question. Okay, I did not like the first Doctor Strange movie. I thought the world building was interesting, but between him being a knockoff Tony Stark with his humor, between the kind of loosey-goosey world building, and let's not get into the whitewashing, but we can if you want, I just wasn't into the Doctor Strange movie. But I do like the concept of the character. I do think it was creative in its execution of the world building. I thought that was interesting. I think he's an interesting character in concept, and I actually liked him in Infinity War, but I'm still yet to be invested completely in him as a character. But I do want to see Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness because I fuck with Sam Raimi. I love Sam Raimi, so I will be seeing that. Maureen Kuchner, Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson impregnate me. Okay, yeah. They can't impregnate me personally. They can't impregnate me because I am a man. I am a cis-born heterosexual. I am a cis-born man. And they cannot impregnate me. But they could try. Izu Robot II, they wasted Cyclops. Yeah, they did. They did waste Cyclops. Hiriko Masa, are they back for the new Thor? I'm confused as to where Jane fits in. Yeah, I think everyone's confused where Jane fits in. I'm kind of on the fence of Jane being in the new Thor. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Natalie Portman. I like Padme. I like Padme. But I don't know where she fits into this story. She kind of exited the story in Ragnarok, and I guess I'm on the fence of her coming back. I feel like they are going to sideline Tessa Thompson for Natalie Portman, and I feel like there are way too many characters in this movie with Guardians of the Galaxy and Thor and Tessa Thompson and Natalie Portman. Like, I wish it was just kind of like Thor and Natalie Portman. I wish it was just Thor and Tessa Thompson, but that's just me. The Ninth Doctor, the Chinese God. The opening few minutes of Origins is the best part of the X-Men movies. Other than any scene with Quicksilver, the rest of Origins is shit, though. Yeah, I like the origin. I like the opening of Origins. That probably should have been the movie of X-Men Origins, Wolverine through the years, and they could have just ended with him getting his powers and losing his memory. That would have been enough. But hey, guess what? You guys know who wrote that? It was D&D, the guys who wrote Game of Thrones. So, lovely. Maria could have been recast or digitally aged. Yeah, she could have. Tire Droid, Days of Future Past and First Class are my favorite, and I have a soft spot for X3 The Last Stand. I don't. I hated how they wasted Pyro. They wasted the characters they were building up, except for Wolverine. Wolverine and like that's kind of it. I don't. It's a weird movie for me. I'm just gonna let it go. Marine Kirchner, Age of Ultron plus Endgame equals my brain cells wanna die. Yeah, I don't hate Endgame. Don't get me wrong. Endgame is an accomplishment of the MCU. It was even great that it happened, but between Fat Thor, between like the weird comedy in it at times, and the pacing, and it was just all over the place. It was just really all over the place for me personally. Uh, Darth Doof. Hey, what's up, Darth Doof? What's up? Happy Sunday. How you doing, dude? Are you into Marvel Comics? Not really. I don't like Marvel that much, actually. I'm familiar with Marvel Comics. I've read Marvel Comics. I just never got into them. Like, I think the only character I liked in the Marvel Comics are the characters who never get, like, good stories or that much screen time. Like, I don't mean to sound like a bitch hipster. Sorry, I was thinking about a certain director I don't like. But I like a lot of the obscure characters in Marvel that, either get their TV shows canceled, Luke Cage and Daredevil, or they just never get screen adaptations, so that's just me. Uh, yeah. Yeah, that is just me. I'm not excited for Moonlight. I'm not excited for Moon Knight at all, but that's just me. Uh, Hiriko Masta. I only know bits and pieces about what happened to Maria via my Tumblr dash. People seem more interested in how Wanda and Vision are having sex if he's dead. Uh, huh. Huh. That's, that's interesting. That's very interesting. I'm not interested in how they're having sex. I actually wasn't thinking about that till this stream, but thank you guys. Thank you guys for making me question how Wanda and Vision have sex. I actually wasn't thinking about if they even have a sex life, but now I am. I'm thinking how they do it. I'm thinking how fellatio is performed. If it's like electrocuting, if it's like so thanks. Thanks for that. Okay, so here's the backstory of what happened to Maria. She died of cancer in between Monica getting snapped out of existence. So, like, when the blip happened, when Thanos snapped everyone out, Maria lived her life for a couple years and then died 3 years before 3 years before Monica was snapped back. So that's the story of how Maria died. It's great. It's horrible. I hate it. Uh, Jesus. Jesus. You guys do comment a lot. Mixed on Endgame, like the beginning and ending, wasn't a fan of Middle and how they handled the time travel and hated what they did to Thanos. This does not put a smile on my face. Yeah, they screwed over Thanos. They did my purple nutsack dirty. Like Thanos. Thanos is my purple nutsack. He looks like a nutsack. They did him 30. Dirty. 30. Purdy. Lurdy. Curdy. I'm moving on. Gina H. LOL. It's true, and you should say it about Star Wars. They are shit with follow through. Yeah, they are. Like, yo, I am not a fan of the MCU. I'm not a fan of the MCU personally, but I will straight up say, yo, they know what they're doing, at least when it comes to their management. They at least make characters. You at least care about the MCU characters enough to get mad at. Meanwhile, we're all still in the sequel trilogy corner saying I hate it here because they didn't even get the ground off of their potential. We had one story and that was it. Insanely Red. If Finn doesn't get a Disney Plus show, we riot. Thanos should have been a simp like in the comics. No! No simping Thanos. No simping Thanos. I do not want to see Thanos as a simp. We have enough simps. I'm a big enough simp. I'm going to get canceled one day. You guys are all going to cancel me. Gina H. I'm scared of a Finn standalone show. It could go wrong in so many ways. Okay, I do not want a Finn standalone show unless Rick Famuyiwa. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name. I have trouble with last names. You can ask Marine. I don't want a Finn standalone show unless it's written and directed by Rick Fumiya. I cannot pronounce his name, guys. I'm sorry. Rick Famuyiwa. I cannot pronounce his name right, but he is the director of some of the best episodes of Mandalorian. He's the director of Dope. He was supposed to direct the Flash movie, and I think he should direct the Finn show. And if he's given complete creative control, I think it would be good. But I just don't want any more, like, I don't want this to sound wrong when I say this. Like, I actually have a lot of respect for J.J. Abrams. I like J.J., but regardless of if some creative choices were his or Disney Lucasfilm, I think Finn would be better off by a black director and writer, because there are some things that, regardless of how well-meaning a director is, there are some things that, yeah, you know, a black director will get better when it comes to directing a black character. Not because a white director can't, but because a black director will know what to not do. That's the thing. It's not that I think a white director won't know what to do. It's that I think that a black director will know what not to do. And my stream just cut out. There we go, it's back. That's just my personal opinion. I'm sorry if that cut out for you guys. I think it did. My personal opinion is that, like, I think J.J. Abrams tried his best, but even with complete creative control, I just personally think that if John Boyega's Finn was directed by a black director, it would go better for his character. Which, again, like I said, it's no shade to a white director. I think a white director could do it just as good of a job in execution, but I think a black director will know what to avoid that a white director might not know what to avoid, personally. Oh god, there are so many I'm just gonna speed run this, guys. I got speed run because I am like 40 comments behind here, so I'm just gonna speed run all you guys' comments. Okay. Marine, in my opinion, I only want a Finn show if it's beginning of an overall retcon and new start of a sequel trilogy, and does not pretend Rey is off somewhere and not caring about Finn. Gina H, laughing my ass off. Yes, that's a lot of ass to laugh off. Marine Kirchner, it should establish Finn as one of two central characters of the franchise going forward, i.e. what should have happened in The Force Awakens. I crack up every time I see the scene. Poe is about to choose violence. Yes, Poe was about to choose violence. I just feel like they'd give him a white sidekick, and we all know what would happen then. Yeah, that's true. Marine, I can't stand Doctor Strange, like the character. I also don't get how Jane fits into the current Thor story, and while I do believe Jane was done dirty, I think Valkyrie makes a way more interesting duo with Thor. I hate him too, Marine. Hiroko Masuda, I hate him too, Marine, and I used to be the hardcore BB Sherlock fan. Okay, I'm sorry guys, my brain went to the wrong place when you guys said BBC. I keep forgetting that's a British television. I'm gonna keep scrolling now. Gina H, I do hate Endgame. It was just so uneven. Yeah, it was. I appreciate it on production level, but yeah, it's a fucking shit show. It really is. To me, Endgame is a mess. Because I hope when the X-Men are rebooted in the MCU, I hope Jubilee is a main character like the cartoon, because she's my what. Because I'm skipping that. I am skipping you and your waifu bait. Hiroko, same. It was my youth, but now I'm embarrassed about most of what the fandom was. Hiroko, I broke Okiro. You do break me. You break me. You do break me. I think you broke me the most in this stream. Yeah, because now I'm just thinking of, like, who puts it in where? Like, if Vision puts it in Wanda, is it go... I'm just wondering. Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna... Okay, we are caught up now. Hiroko Masuda, knowing our luck, they'll ask Pablo Dago to direct a Finn show. Guys, can you excuse me for a moment? I need to respond to something. Yeah, please no. Please, Let's have Pablo Hidalgo and Matt Martin nowhere near Finn. Let us keep them away from them. And their YT apologist audience that doesn't know what's wrong. Want to something funny? I laugh about Pablo Hidalgo that the all Star Wars is good crowd just doesn't want to hear. You have people who hate the sequel trilogy, dislike Pablo. You have people who are very passionate about the sequel trilogy, hate Pablo. And yet you still have these weird people on Twitter like, Pablo is the nicest guy ever. People just don't get his sarcasm. No, Pablo is a cuck. A C-U-C-K. Cuck. No one likes him. I don't like him. Old Star Wars fans don't like him. The only people who like him are the bootlickers. Screw Pablo. Yuck. Yeah, I hate how Maria died. That was gross too. Gina H agreed. Finn needs to be handled by a black director. He does, and it just not a black director. He needs to be handled by a black writer because I do think that regardless of, because here's the thing, like, you guys have seen my videos. You guys know how much went into messing with Finn as a character. But I do think that even if J.J. Abrams and, Lawrence Kasdan got creative control when making The Force Awakens, I do think there would have been some shortcomings that they would not have seen. And, I've seen Solo. I have seen Solo. And I do think that there are some shortcomings that, Lawrence Kasdan has. I think he's a good script writer, but a story writer, he's not that good, and his son John Kasdan definitely isn't that good, because what he did to Lando was pretty wrong. I don't know how you turn a character that in the 80s was such a revolutionary character for, like, black characters in, like, the fantasy science media, and then you turn him into Solo and Lando. I don't know how you do that. Marine, I don't want a Finn show about I don't see why a Finn show should be written or directed by someone who isn't black. Yeah, I don't see that either, but you know how Disney Lucasfilm is these days. They want representation in everything but the writer's room. Unless they want to throw that writer under the bus, though. And yeah, if we get a Finn spin-off show, I don't think we need Rey to be. I don't think we should or need Rey to be a lead character in it. But I do think she should show up, and I do think it should make it clear that Finn and Rey have a strong relationship, a strong romantic relationship at that. It shouldn't just be a Finn show where it's like there's no acknowledgement to his relationship with Rey, because that gives all the racists, all the bigots, all the people who said they didn't have a real relationship together, that gives them validation that, okay, yeah, they weren't in a real relationship. They didn't care about each other. They were just fighting a war, and when the war was over, the relationship ended. And I don't want that, because that is just wrong to both characters and their relationship. I don't need her. I don't think she should be in every episode. I don't think she should be a main character in the show at all. Like, I'm going to be honest here. She was prioritized over Finn, even if they did her dirty. That being said, she is still a giant part of Finn's life. He does love her, and she loves him. So to just ignore that fact not only invalidates her as a character, it invalidates Finn as a character. And I'm not gonna let that fucking happen. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna straight up separate. And you know what? I'll straight up say Daisy has said some stupid shit. Daisy has said some dumb stuff. I'm just gonna be honest. She has said her things like the privilege comment and this recent interview, which I don't think was actually. I don't think the person who's reporting on that interview is being truthful. I think she's definitely rewording things. But you can't just erase Finn and Rey's relationship. Like, as much as I think Finn deserves his own show, and he does, to just erase the relationship he had with Rey, the only organic relationship he had in 3 films, that gives every single fucking bigot who said, oh, they're just who just, oh, there's no romance there. Oh, she thinks of him as a comrade, but they're really not friends. They really don't know each other. That gives all those fucking racists. That gives them the validation they want, and I'll sooner be fucking 6 feet in the grave before I'll ever want that. Because all those people who say that Finn and all that people who say, oh, just ignore Rey but keep Finn, like, fuck you. Fuck you. I'll straight up say that. Like, do I think Finn should have been more of a lead protagonist? Yes, I will die on that hill. In fact, I'll say the most pragmatic thing I've ever said. Rey and Finn make good co-protagonists, but if Rey's story was only going to ever be about her parentage and the thematic journey of that, then yeah, I think she should have been the co-protagonist and Finn the protagonist. Because if we're going off that, if we're going just off that story, of that story of Rey's story is parentage and Finn's story is identity, then yeah, you should make one character push the narrative and you should make the other character push the thematic elements of the story, and that works better if Finn is the lead protagonist and Rey is the co-protagonist. But back to my subject, if you are going to make a Finn spin-off show, you have to acknowledge that the relationships he had, you're going to establish the relationship that he had matters. And the relationship that mattered the most to him was Rey. And you have to establish that. And you have to keep that. Or else you're going to give every single racist the validation they've always wanted. And guess what? I don't think that's the right thing to do. I don't think that's the right thing to ever do for a Finn show, to give any racist the validation they deserved. Okay, let's go back to the chat, because I just got off on a tangent there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Get the director from Black Panther. He's busy. That's Ryan Coogler. Get Rick Famuyiwa. Get Rick Famuyiwa. I can't pronounce his last name. I hate myself. Get him. He's a good director. You are wild. I am crazy. Darth Doof. Sorry I'm only here for like 2 minutes, but it's after 12 p.m. here in Israel, and I gotta go up for school in 6 hours, though. It's great to know you have taste. Daredevil's Hope. I love Daredevil. Great show. Wish it would come back. Darth Doof, if you want to check out the stream later, I'll keep it up. I keep these streams public now, so I can be canceled when someone finds them. But yeah, I will keep them in a playlist, so you can watch them. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you have a good morning and night and evening. I like your name. Hiroko Masa, I'm going to have to start blocking people because now that Okiro sound is going to be in my head for WandaVision sex. Yeah, I think the sex has got to sound like a vibrator, don't you guys? Like, it's got to sound like... Like, that's got to be what the kids hear at night. They're like, Mommy, did you forget to turn off the heater? Oh, why? Oh, why, Billy? Because we kept hearing this sound that sounded like... Okay, I'm done. I'm canceled. It's suddenly red. We're getting a new trailer for Justice League on Valentine's Day. Mwah. I love that. I love the Justice League. I love the Snyder Cut. Can't wait to see it. Gina H. Pablo is a complete asshole. Yes, he is. And I don't care. He's an asshole. Hiroko Masa. Thoughts about likelihood of a JJ cut for trials or leaking of the original script? You know, I'm not really sure. I have a lot of hope for a JJ cut because fuck it, if we got the Snyder cut, what's to stop us from getting a JJ cut? I think it's possible. I think it's possible we could get a JJ cut eventually, but I think the bigger problem with the sequel trilogy fandom is no one agrees with it. No one agrees with the sequel trilogy fandom. No one agrees in it. We have people who know that like the best things about the sequel trilogy came from JJ. But they believe the gaslighting, and they don't do any research, so they blame JJ for things that aren't his fault. Like, they blame JJ for Rose not being in The Rise of Skywalker, when, let's be real here, this is the guy who went against Disney to cast John Boyega. Do you really think he would look at an Asian woman and just say, yeah, no, we don't want her because she's Asian? Or because he wants to cater to bigoted fans? The guy cast a black guy. Like, come on here. Like, you automatically know someone who is ignorant of how the world works if they think that J.J. Abrams cast a dark-skinned Nigerian man. against Disney Lucasfilm, but then would sideline Rose Tico to pander to racists. Like, come on, like get your head out of your ass. And that's not me being a JJ apologist. That's me being like someone who thinks logically. I think JJ Abrams has a lot of flaws, but like, let's be real here. If he was willing to cast a Nigerian black man to be the male lead of the sequel trilogy and have a romantic relationship with the whitest white woman I've ever seen in my life, Daisy Ridley, the guy did not give a fuck about racists. Like, that's just my opinion, though. Whatever. Yes, Hiroko Masta. I do. Marine, re the Finn and Rey thing. This. This is what I mean. I want the show to be about Finn front and center, and Rey would distract from that as a main character. Part of the retcon and making it clear who Finn is should be that Rey is his love interest. Yeah, Rey is Finn's love interest. She's Finn's love interest. She's Finn's best friend. She's Finn's partner. Like, let's just get some things real here. When you go back into The Force Awakens, you got Finn and Rey. You don't got any other dynamic relationship being established. Yeah, you got some minor relationships, but when it comes to romance, you got Finn and Rey, and you maybe have like the hate relationship between Finn and Jakku, because goddamn does that man hate Jakku. Okay, Darth Doof. Okay, thanks, Jin. I hope you're enjoying hearing Jakku for 3 hours. Wish I could. Darth Doof, I will try to make Darth Doof. I will try to do these streams at an earlier time because I know I got a lot of European friends here, and I know there's some people on Pacific time, so I'll do the stream earlier next time. Ninth Doctor. Both Rey and Poe should have romantic tension with Finn in a hypothetical Finn show. Okay. Listen, I'm okay with Poe being gay. I think Poe being gay or pan is great. When it comes to Finn and Poe, okay, I'm gonna say something, and you guys can cancel me for this. Here's the truth about Finn and Poe. I don't know if you guys follow the behind-the-scenes information like I do, because I keep my nose right up Disney's asshole, but here's the behind-the-scenes info of Finn and Poe. They had zero intention in making Poe gay or pansexual. That was never going to happen. What they wanted to do was they wanted to have Poe hook up with Rey originally to get rid of Finn. And then when they decided to go with Reylo, they decided to have Poe hook up with Zoe Bliss. But there was never once that they want Poe to be gay. They didn't want that. They don't even like black people. They definitely don't like gay people. And again, here's the thing. I'm not into the whole CW style of writing. I'm not into the whole CW, oh, everyone is just flirting with everyone, because that makes relationship establishing very loosey-goosey, like everyone is just interchangeable. When you look back on The Force Awakens, the relationship between Finn and Rey, that was the romantic relationship they set up. Poe wasn't done dirty in the Rise of Skywalker because he didn't end up with Poe. I mean, Poe wasn't done dirty in the Rise of Skywalker because he didn't end up with Finn. That he was done dirty because they made him a spice runner. Because that was stupid. And I'll say to the day I'm dead, that was stupid. I don't know whose idea that was, because The Rise of Skywalker was basically a community film by the end of it, but to hook Finn, to just throw romantic tension in there with Finn and Poe just because fans are demanding it, is the same thing of throwing romantic tension in with Kylo or Rey or Finn and Poe just because people are demanding that online. If there's no narrative reason for it, you're just setting up a plot thread with no reason to continue it, and what's the point of that? What is the point of gay representation if its only value is being in a love triangle? A love triangle that's one-sided, because we all know who Finn has had feelings for. It'd just be bad for Poe as a character because you're just stringing him along, and it'd just be bad for people who want representation through this character. At least that's my opinion. If you're gonna go gay with Poe, give him his own agency as a character, but don't make him gay just for the sake of making him gay, because gay people are more than their sexual identity, just like black people are more than their black identity. It's not about making a character black or gay just to have them be black or gay. It's about making a gay character. It's about having a gay character. It's about having a character who just happens to be black, happens to be gay, happens to be a woman, happens to be a pan. They have to be important in spite of their identity, not because of their identity. Gina H. I'd be fine with Ray being an occasional guest star, but I don't want anything except Finn as a focus, and please give him a last name. Yeah, no, I don't want a Finn show if he's not the main focus. I don't want, like, a sequel trilogy spin-off with Finn and Ray, because we know how that's going to end up. I want a sequel trilogy show with Finn in it. That's what I want. That's what we deserve. And give him a last name. And you want to know what? Just because I see a lot of people who get pissed off at this, give him the last name Galfridian. Give him the last name Galfridian just to piss people off, because I will dig that personally. Yes, Marine. I'm Marine. I'm gonna skip your comments because I just acknowledge that. Into Robert, just ignore Poe, but keep Ray in the Finn show. I don't mind Poe in the Finn show, but he should not be a main character either. If I saw Poe in the Finn show, I'd riot. I think it would be good to have him as a guest star, just to show him there, but you don't need to keep him there, because it's not his show, and he shouldn't be in there. In fact, if there's anyone I think should be in the Finn show, it should be Jana, because they were originally written to be siblings, and I've heard a lot of people say that they don't want Jana to be Finn's sister, because they think it shouldn't be that way, but it makes sense that two twin siblings would both be thrown in the Stormtrooper program, and it carries on to that thing Finn said in The Force Awakens when he said he thought he'd never see his family again. So to make Jana his sister would make sense both for him, and it would make sense both for her, because she has this instant bond with him in The Rise of Skywalker. And I think that would be good to make them related. But if you make her Lando's daughter, nothing happens from that. The only argument for her being Lando's daughter is they both have capes, but lots of people have capes. Is Krennic Lando's fuckboy? Like, Lando can have his own black daughter, and Finn can have his own sister. We can have more than one black family in Star Wars. I know it's a crazy idea, but, it's possible. I think, again, like I see there's a Finn Poe argument going on in the chat. I think you can have Poe be gay, but I don't think it will do anyone good to throw in I don't think it will do any Finn Poe fans good to throw in romantic crumbs that they don't plan to follow up, because you know what's going to happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen. Fans are going to get angry, and they're going to say, they set up Finn and Poe to have this thing and did nothing with them, forced heterosexuality, and I don't think that's fair to anyone. I don't think it's fair to put people who were fans of what was established with Finn and Rey and fans who wanted Finn and Poe against each other, because that's what you're going to do if you set up crumbs for the sake of fans, but you don't want to follow through with it. It's going to make a fight between people for no reason. You can have Poe be gay, you can have Poe be Pam, but to set it up that he is romantically interested in Finn, but not to do anything with that, I personally think would just cause more problems than it would help. But I'm going to get off the Finn Poe subject right now. Tire Joy, what lightsaber color do you think you would have? I think it'd either be green, yellow, or orange. I'm a dumbass, so I would like orange, please. Give me orange. I like the color orange for lightsabers. I would be the dumbass running around with like an orange and purple lightsaber, because I think that's sick as fuck. Magenta. Orange and magenta lightsaber. Yeah, that sounds good for me. Hiriko Masta, I feel I should apologize for introducing the WV sex angle. Sorry. You did, and it stuck in my head. Darth Doof, bro, you're too nice. Hearing this live stream is the first thing I'm gonna do when I get back from school tomorrow. Okay, I'm out for real now. You have a good night, Darth Doof, when you hear this. Hope you're safe, hope you're okay, hope you're staying healthy. And you have a good day, dude. I appreciate you coming to this chat. I appreciate all of you coming to this chat. And Next time I do a live stream, I'll try and make it earlier for the people in different time zones, because it is unfair that I have other people in other time zones that can't watch this stream. So I'll try to make it earlier next time. Hiroko, I want to see that scene John said he shot with Daisy telling her he has the Force. Yeah, I want to see that too. I think that's a sweet moment. And I don't know if you guys know this. I'm guessing it's a Han Solo Leia reference, because he tells Rey she's Force sensitive and she says she knows. But I think it's more important than just that. I heard people shitting on the concept of Finn wanting to tell Rey he's Force sensitive, but I get why it was done, because in the visual dictionary novel, which was actually, this was the first visual dictionary novel that actually had one of the writers of the film to put their input in it. It says that Finn wants to learn the ways of the Force because he knows that Rey cares about that, and he wants to learn more about something that means so much to her. And we have in the film Finn saying things like, the Force brought me to Rey. We have that cut line of saying, the Force brought us together, which I'm pretty sure he's saying that to Rey itself. And I think him telling Rey he's Force sensitive isn't just about, hey, I can use the Force too. I think it's about something far deeper and far more intimate between them. It might have something to do with the fact that they were supposed to be a dyad in the Force until it was changed to Kylo and Rey. I think it has something to do with that, but I don't know. I hope we get to see it. Gina H. He didn't have a lot of places to go with Rose. I also think he was ordered to chop her story to hell. Actually, it was revealed a lot of the footage with Rose was cut in the third act, and a lot of it was Resistance footage that was also cut. The guy who played Charlie from Lost, his name is Dominic something. He was in The Rise of Skywalker. He said that is actually what happened. He said there was a lot of scenes they filmed together. He was in a lot of scenes with Kelly Marie Tran, and they cut it. So I think that's the thing. I mean, personally, if I was going to do episode 9, I would have split the Resistance up into 2 teams. I would have sent Finn and Rey to hunt for Kylo, and I would have sent Poe and Rose to hunt for allies of the Resistance. That way we can kind of get a sense of what the galaxy is doing on 2 different angles, instead of having to cram them both together in some sloppy way. Marine, you and me both. Yeah, Poe is always going to be ultra... what does that say? Ultra het. I thought that said ultra ho. I thought that said Poe is going to be ultra ho. Like, what the fuck is an ultra ho? Is it like the next phase of Super Saiyan 5? Like, that's what it is? Gina H. What the fuck was that? Gina H. Probably the co-writers. I forgot his name on purpose. That was so stupid. I don't remember either. Marina, Finn and Jenna Galfrian as rebuilders of the Outer Rim. I actually wanted to name my live streams the Outer Rim Tavern, but I thought people would say the Outer Rim Job, so I didn't name it that. Yeah. Hiroko, I'd love Jenna to be in the show. I think she should be in the show. You spent The Rise of Skywalker building another relationship between Finn and a new character. And I'll be honest, the relationship he had with Jenna was probably the first relationship outside of Rey that felt organic. Like, no offense to Finn and Poe. I think the actors have great chemistry, but I'm just gonna be honest, guys, have they tried to do anything with Poe and Finn's friendship outside of their first scene together? Like, the jacket wasn't about Poe. I know everyone likes to go back to the keep the jacket thing as their relationship, but that's not developing a relationship. That's not setting up a relationship. That's saying, hey, keep the jacket. But at the end of the conversation, it goes back to Rey. So, like, have they done anything with that friendship since The Force Awakens? They really haven't. Like, seeing Jenna and Finn and talking about their stormtrooper past was probably the most meaningful I have seen a relationship Finn has had outside of Finn and Rey. And fuck me, did we need world building on Finn as a stormtrooper? Bacasta, Poe in the Finn show should be like Jimmy Woo in WandaVision, not the focus, but a connection to the larger universe. Uh, nah. I don't want him in the. I don't want Poe or Rey as even main characters in the Finn show. If he would get a Finn show, I know John likes working with Oscar and Daisy. I'm not gonna knock him for that, but I also think John needs to kind of understand that it might not be him, but producers will exploit, like, producers will sideline a black character if they can. And putting Poe and Rey in the Finn show just gives them an excuse to sideline him again. They don't need to be main characters. I wouldn't mind Poe appearing for an episode. That'd be great. I wouldn't mind Rey appearing for an episode. I wouldn't mind her appearing for 3 episodes. They can go lay some pipe when the credits are rolling or something. But like, no, don't make either of them main characters. It will just take away from Finn's story. I'm not Ninth Doctor. I'm not saying that it's just a lack of Finn Poe. That was wrong with Poe in the Rise of Skywalker. As a gay man myself, I feel the issue is a gay-coded character having a female love interest. Yeah, I disagree with Zori. I don't disagree with Zori as a character. I don't disagree with Poe having her as a former love interest because they're not a current love interest, but I do disagree with what they did with Poe by stringing fans along. Because here's the thing: the situation with Poe is complicated because Lucasfilm never intended to make him gay, and Oscar wanted to make him gay and pansexual. You know what? Oscar didn't want Poe to be straight because you know what? I'm not gonna say gay or pansexual because Oscar has said a lot of different things when it came to Poe: bisexuality, pansexuality, gay. Lucasfilm did not want Poe to be anything but straight, and Oscar didn't want Poe straight. And I think the transparency behind Lucasfilm, the lack of transparency with Lucasfilm, was wrong. Because I feel like if they told people they had no plans to make Poe gay, they just said, "Hey guys, he's straight," that would have stopped a lot of the backlash people feel about this. Personally speaking, that's what I think the problem is. Because I don't want to. I'm not gonna blame JJ, and I'm not gonna blame JJ for not being able to do something that Lucasfilm didn't want to do. And Lucasfilm clearly wanted Poe to have a heterosexual romantic relationship with someone, even if it was just teasing, because, well, that's what they did with Duel of the Fates. They wanted to turn Poe into a male lead, even if by any means necessary. And I feel sorry for people who got invested of the concept of Poe being gay who didn't get that because Lucasfilm didn't want to be transparent with them. Jesus, okay. I gotta get to the comments, guys. Jesus, I have a lot of comments. Okay, I'm gonna speed run these comments, guys. There's a lot of them. Shit. Poe being gay and Finn Poe are 2 different things. Yeah, I agree with that. And of course, making the one Latino character have smuggled drugs. Yeah, if you haven't noticed, Lucasfilm likes making stereotypes. Kind of like when they made Paige Tico, the Asian character, a suicide bomber. That was great. They made it out to be heroic, but that felt problematic. Maybe it was just me. Hiroko Masta, I hear Ninth Doctor, the cheese of God of Krydo. How do you say that name? I feel like Poe should have had a situation like Reboot Solo from Star Trek, established with a husband and possibly children. I think Poe should have had... Yeah, you know what? I would have accepted that. I would have accepted that Poe already had a relationship, but I think the reason they didn't do that is because they wanted Poe... I think until the 11th hour, they wanted this weird thing with Poe and Rey. I think they didn't want to stop pushing that, and I think J.J. Abrams just said, "I'm not doing that." And so they said, "Fine, can we have a relationship between him and this other character? Because we need some heterosexual romance in here." I think that's why they pushed it, personally. I think Poe should not have had love interest in The Rise of Skywalker and have a potential romance explode in tons of EU stuff he had, but they didn't do that. Yeah, you think with the 20 EU books they made of Poe, the character who got more EU material than anyone in the Secret Trilogy, they would have given him a love interest, but that would have required committing to something, and Lucasfilm are cowards and little bitches, and we know that. Tire Droid, what element would you bend for me? I'm either an airbender or a waterbender. Firebender, because I get very passionate about stuff and I destroy everything I touch because I am a dysfunctional person. Hiriko Masuda, yes, and then exploring the EU more. Elijah Cook, when will the preview be out on your Patreon? The preview for Shadows of the Force will probably be out on Friday. Yeah, it'll be out on Friday for Shadows of the Force. Don't hold me to it. It'll be on the Patreon when it's on the Patreon, but it'll at least be on the Patreon 2 days before. It could be before, it could be after, it could be before the middle of the week, could be after the middle of the week, but it will be on before Sunday. Hiriko Masta, can you give me an honest assessment of DOTR? Oh, Duel of the Fates. Can you give me an honest assessment of Duel of the Fates? I feel like way too many people like it only because of the Stormtrooper Revolution. Ignore all the horrible stuff. It's shot. Like, there are some good elements of Duel of the Fates. There are some good elements I like about Duel of the Fates. I like the Stormtrooper Rebellion. I hate that it has nothing to do with the plot until the 70th page. They mostly ignore it, and Finn is getting his ass handed to him most of the script. I hate how people excuse it, saying, well, he's weak in the beginning of Duel of the Fates as, you know, to show his character development when he's strong. He's a former stormtrooper. He's a former stormtrooper, an elite stormtrooper at that. He shouldn't be getting his ass handed to him, needing Poe, of all people, to save him. I'm sorry, I don't know who wants to hear this. I don't know who's ready to hear this, but Finn is stronger than Poe. Finn is force sensitive. Finn was able to go against Kylo. Poe wasn't. Poe got frozen. That was it for him. Poe is a pilot. He's good at flying. Let's stop this weird fandom thing that Poe is just great at everything. He's a pilot. He's good at flying. Finn is a better soldier than Poe. Let's stop this whole misconception. If people don't like it, they can fight me. I'll meet you at Denny's at 5 o'clock. But yeah, Duel of the Fates isn't that good. It's better than The Rise of Skywalker in the sense that it's a consistent story. Like, there's no 11th hour changes. Rey's a shit character in it. I'll say that. She's a shit character. She's a shit character in Duel of the Fates. Fight me. Like, I love her. Don't get me wrong. I love Rey. She looks at Finn in the eyes and says, Kylo can change because you did. And I'm going to be honest, that was the worst thing Rey ever said in my book. That's horrible. She's constantly trying to be Kylo's therapist. Rey in Duel of the Fates can be summed up as trying to fix a bad boy. Even if she's not romantically interested in him, she's emotionally invested in him to the point that it's actually easier to make an argument that she loves him in Duel of the Fates than it is in The Rise of Skywalker. Even though The Rise of Skywalker, the theatrical cut, has the cursed kiss. Which is fucking funny, if you think about it. Poe is trying to get in Rey's pants the whole script. Hate that. Leia doesn't die, so that's a giant improvement there. There's a token. She doesn't do anything besides tell Rey that she should fuck Poe. Lando's in it. He doesn't do anything in it, so that's great. Love that. At least it's consistent with The Rise of Skywalker. Hux and Kylo are better. It's weird. Hux and Kylo are ironically the bright spots. Of Duel of the Fates, which I never thought I would say that. But Kylo doesn't try to be good. He is committed to being evil, and I'll give it that. It's more enjoyable to see him as an evil character than a forced good character. Hux is kind of an embarrassment on and off because he's a wannabe force user, but it's better than a spy. Finn, again, comes out smiling like a rose, even if he does have a lot of oof moments, because at least he leads a Stormtrooper rebellion. And I do like the line that he has to one Stormtrooper when he tells him to find something to fight for. But I don't like it because the Duel of the Fates erases his romantic relationship with Rey, and that was the thing he found to fight for. So it makes it pointless, if you ask me. I thought Mortis was cool. I thought Coruscant was cool. I think it's worth a read. I think if you want, I can actually drop the script in the chat. I think it's worth the read just to know what it is and to be able to form your own opinion on it, but I don't think it's anywhere near a good script like people hype it up to be. Marie, and personally, I also think Finn saying to Rey he is force sensitive is also about the fact that he can feel her through the force. Yes, I do think it is that. Gina, I absolutely think the force bond dyad was switched from Finn and ass face at the last minute. Yeah, because the visual dictionary says that Maz thought the force dyad was between Finn and Rey. So there's that. Hiro Kusher. Oh, Hiro. I'm losing my mind here. Hiriko Masuda. Oh wow, I have not heard that stuff about Kelly Marie Tran. Yeah, that sucks about her. They did her dirty. I skipped so much again. This chat hates me. Okay, Hiriko Masuda. Not really. I guess when Finn wakes up in The Last Jedi, Poe is happy, but then everything went away. Was he happy though? Like, he seems surprised that he's awake. He asked and he's okay. And then we have a deleted scene where he's shoving a jacket in Finn's chest and refusing to listen to Finn when he's saying he doesn't want to be a part of the Resistance. I do think they're friends, don't get me wrong. I just think there's no development there. I think Ryan didn't care. I don't think Ryan cared about the relationship between these characters. And I just think they wasted it there, personally. Izu Robot II. Keiko or Iger pander to the... Yeah, they did. They did pander to them. Ninth Doctor. I didn't even think about Paige being a suicide bomber. Good job, Ryan. Yeah, she's a suicide bomber. With no lines. And you want to know something funny? Originally... Which I think it goes to show... Like, I think your credit as a writer is being able to pay off certain scenes. There was this scene originally that Ryan said was a concept. I don't know if he wrote it, but he said that the original opening for The Last Jedi was Finn was Rey with the Resistance, and he would have going to be a bomber with Paige. And instead, Paige would have died in his arms instead of a suicide blast. But Ryan didn't choose that because he didn't think he could pay it off. But then I also realized that if he made Finn a Resistance fighter from the start, that means Finn would have literally been a deserter. And I think the reason why he changed this, either in the writing process or reshoots, probably reshoots because John Boyega has a terrible wig at parts of The Last Jedi, is just because I think even Lucasfilm knew that if they made Finn out to be that much, if they made Finn join the Resistance just to desert, it would have looked bad, and that might have something to do with the fact that even Lucasfilm had to tell Ryan, you are going too far. Like when they had Holdo flirting with Poe and slapping him around and calling him things like honey and sweetie. So I think either Lucasfilm, JJ as an executive producer, even though he didn't do shit in the film, or Disney said, hey, you can't do that. But that's just my theory. No, it's okay. That's okay. I forget what the name is too. Hiriko Masta. Izu Robot II. Terrell was gonna hook Rey with Poe. The nerve of that man. See, I originally blamed Colin Trevorrow, and I still do blame him because he was really hardcore simping for Oscar Isaac and like not talking about John Boyega at all. But Lucasfilm wanted that too. That's why they had Alan Dean Foster add that weird random hug in the adult novel between Poe and Rey. And then I think Michael Cogg was so much of a gangster because then he came along in his junior novel and had Rey basically say, wow, it'd be weird to embrace a stranger. I like Michael Cogg. He's petty. I love that man. But this was... because off topic, but if they made a sequel to the Batman, would you want them to bring Dick Grayson Robin in and adapt the Dark Victory? I want that more than anything. I have not read that comic personally, so I cannot give an opinion on that. I caught up with the chat. Nice. I caught up with the chat. That's great. I feel good. I feel happy about that. Ninth Doctor. I'm glad they didn't at least I'm glad they did at least something with Rose in Duel of the Fates, giving Konex of Scars a nice little tidbit. I like to imagine that happening in the future canon material. See, I didn't like what they did with Rose. See, the reason I didn't like what they did with Rose the reason I didn't like what they did with Rose in Duel of the Fates is because they put her on another side quest, a side quest that turns out to be nothing because the beacon to Coruscant does not work. See, in Duel of the Fates, Finn and Rose get sent on another side quest, and this time it's to turn on the beacon on Coruscant, and it turns out it means nothing. It was a waste of time. It was a waste of time. It does nothing, and Rose is tackled and almost tortured to death by Hux. So, yeah, that's great. I love watching. I would have loved watching that. No, I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. I don't want to watch her almost tortured to death. Like, between Rose being almost tortured to death and Finn thrown in a concentration camp while Poe is trying to fuck Rey and Rey just wants to be Kylo's therapist, it's such a fucking clusterfuck to me. Like, I'm sorry. I know Duel of the Fates has some interesting moments, I'm not gonna lie. But its execution is terrible. It's actually terrible. Duel of the Fates is... But I will say this... Duel of the Fates has good concepts, but the execution is shit. Which makes it still better than The Last Jedi, which had bad execution and bad concepts. So I'll give Duel of the Fates that. Gina H. That is so gross. They destroyed the heroic characters. Trevorrow was such a hack. He did what Lucasfilm wanted him to do. Like, that's the thing. Lucasfilm did not want JJ's story. Like, there's a reason why Lucasfilm isn't hiring people like Ryan Coogler. There's a reason why they're not hiring people like all these other folks. They hired these guys because they wanted them to do what they said, and if they didn't do what they said, they'd get fired. That's why Colin got fired, and that's why JJ got his film reshot. That's why people don't like JJ. He didn't want to do what they said. They wanted their story. The Last Jedi is the only film that Lucasfilm has made which was a story they wanted. And that's why all the Lucasfilm affiliated people are so in love with that film because they're told to love that film. Ninth Doctor, speaking of the Force Awakens visual dictionary, I took a look at who wrote it today and cringed. Yeah, Pablo Hidalgo wrote all the visual dictionaries, but all the visual dictionaries are written from the earliest points of the script because they take a long time to make. Like, there's also Pablo putting in his own input, of course, but some of the things they are from, like, the original script of the films. That's why all the visual dictionaries just contradict everything that comes out after it, because Lucasfilm can't go, like, 1 year without changing everything. Gina H. The Last Jedi was a huge clusterfuck. The Last Jedi was a clusterfuck. It was a clusterfuck, and it was a fuck cluster. Bacasta, I don't know which novelization of The Rise of Skywalker said it, but it was stated that Finn and Rey have a bond beyond the Force. That was the Rise of Skywalker Jr. novel by Michael Cogg, I think. Because he's all up on that Finn and Rey juice. He drinks his Finn and Rey juice. He drinks the fuck out of it. He's just like... He drinks it, and I love it. I love that man, Michael Cogg. He is a white man I will let come to the cookout. Night Doctor, I mean, it's hard not to sim for Oscar Isaac. You know, I'm not really into Oscar Isaac personally. It's no offense to the guy. I don't know. Never does it for me. Never was that interested in him. That's just me. I love him in Inside Llewyn Davis. That's my favorite role of his, but, you know, I just never saw the appeal personally. But that's me. He's a good actor. I don't know. I'm weird. Michael Cogg is the hero we all need. Michael Cogg is a motherfucking gangster. Hiroko Masuda. Hiroko Masuda, I love your name, by the way. I said it in the other chat. I want to say it again. I love your name. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I love your name. I love it. It's beautiful. You are beautiful. I hope you know that. I love that name. I cannot pronounce it, though. I'm sorry if I'm messing it up, but I love that name. The Ninth Doctor. The man is real fucking hot. I'm going to assume you're talking about Michael Cogg, and I appreciate your taste in Finray shippers. Into Robert II. I'm more of a Jason Todd person. Hey, me too. I love Jason Todd. He is my Robin personally. He's dysfunctional, and I dig that. Ninth Doctor, the cheese of God. Your name is. You guys are learning I can't read. This is great. I think having Luke go through some bad shit in between the OT and the ST isn't a bad idea. I like the feel they gave him, sort of Kreia-like philosophy. It could have been real interesting. See, Luke went through some bad shit right though in the Force Awakens. I can't say the Last Jedi did that when it's not the Last Jedi that made him interesting. And here's the thing, Luke could have went through some bad shit if Rey losing his nephew, losing his students, and if Rey was his daughter, which I'm gonna be honest, here's an unpopular opinion everyone's not gonna like. If Rey was going to be Daisy Ridley, I am white and I look exactly like a young Mark Hamill, a young Mark Hamill, a young Natalie Portman, and Padme Amidala, and Shmi Skywalker, and a young Luke Skywalker, she should have been his daughter. I'm just gonna say that. If you were going to cast Daisy Ridley, if you had to make Rey white when there were other interracial actresses who went out for the part because they were looking for interracial actresses and a white actress, you should have just made her Luke's daughter. I think it's pretty clear JJ wanted to make her Luke's daughter. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say that, but if you were going to make Rey white, she should have been Luke's daughter. She should have been a Skywalker. Otherwise, why do we have another white protagonist? Why do we have another white protagonist who's a Skywalker in everything but name only? What is the point of that? Why is she a Skywalker in everything but name only? Oh, look, she's an adopted Skywalker. Because you can't have her be a Skywalker if she kissed Kylo. That's fucking great. But back to Luke. I hated him in The Last Jedi because that's not Luke Skywalker. Do I think it would have been good to have a character with a Kreia-like personality? Yeah, but I like that because I like Kreia, not because I thought Luke was executed well. Luke is a paragon of kindness. He cares about helping people. He never gives up. He definitely wouldn't cut himself up for the Force, because even J.J. Abrams said, yeah, that was weird. I didn't plan on doing that. I can't agree with Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi. I just can't. It's a good concept, but I don't think it works on him. You want to know who's a good concept for Luke in The Last Jedi who done right? Sira from Fallen Order. Sira is a good concept. Sira is the master of Trilla, by the way. Trilla from Fallen Order. She is a good concept. She cut herself from the Force after making a mistake, and she is a nuanced character. I love her. Thoughts on the future of Cara Dune. Gina H. Thoughts on what the future of Cara Dune should be. I'm upset about Cara Dune because the controversy surrounding Gina has overtaken the character, and you know what? The concept of an Alderaan survivor is fucking amazing. We have never, in the Star Wars films or TV shows, focused on what someone from Alderaan would feel about losing their home planet, because Leia didn't get that. Leia never got a chance to express her pain, her sadness, her anger, all these things she would feel after Alderaan. She never got that. Not once. Not in the films, at least. But Cara Dune was our window into being able to see how 10 years after Alderaan being destroyed, it's still with people. It still feels like it was yesterday. And it's funny because there was no controversy with Gina in the first season. She was relatively loved by everyone, ironically, except for alt-right men. She was loved by almost everyone, and she was a symbol of body positivity, and the controversy right now has just overtaken the character. But I am not going to talk about Gina, though, because that's not what my stream's about. If you guys want to talk about it, that's fine, but I disagree with some of the things she said, and I don't want to get into it. Marine, I think it's hard not to simp for John Boyega. Yeah, I'll give you that. I am a John Boyega simp. I simp for John Boyega. Night Doctor, but of course this is coming from someone who thinks K2 is top 5 video games ever. I love KOTOR too. I love KOTOR too, and as someone who loves KOTOR too, I think The Last Jedi is shit. That's why I hate it so much. Like, I don't mind people who love The Last... I don't mind people who like The Last Jedi. If you like The Last Jedi, yo, that is your right to like The Last Jedi. But personally, I didn't like The Last Jedi. I love The Knights of the Republic 2, and I think Knights of the Republic 2 does a better job than The Last Jedi. To be honest, I would recast Cara Dune. I don't know what to do with that. I'm not getting involved. I think they should do something with her. I don't know what they're going to do with her. I think that for the brand alone, you can't have an actress who is posting that kind of stuff PR-wise. Like, I don't think anyone should be fighting with fans, and as someone who supports the trans community, I do think I think it's wrong what she said. I do. I just can't support her personally. Like, I just can't. I know a lot of people do. I can't support people who aren't going to respect trans people. I can't personally. But this is not about politics, and I'm going to stay off of that. Nine Doctor, I heard the idea during TFA was Rey was a Kenobi. Rey was from, according to Daisy Ridley, before The Force Awakens, actually, when they were still in the writing stages with Michael Arden, not to be specific. Rey was almost a Kenobi. She's had, according to Daisy Ridley, she had 5 origins. We know one was a Kenobi, one was a nobody, and one was a Palpatine. So who knows what the other 2 would be. I'm guessing since there's only 2 other fucking origins anyone can be, one was a Skywalker and one was a Solo. Oh, sorry about that. I was talking about Solo. I was talking about Solo and I got tired. I'm sorry. I'm kidding, Solo fans. Night Doctor, I loved Fallen Order, but I felt like it was kind of short and ended a little bit early. Marine is such a good character, easily my favorite in Fallen Order. I love Trilla, personally, but yeah, it did feel short. I think it was because they cut some of the game out. That's my opinion. Either they cut some of the game out or they rushed it. I was kind of disappointed with how short it was. Cooper Jackson, hyped for Star Wars Visions. Not really. Like, I'll see it, I'll watch it, but I'm not hyped about it. I don't know anything about it. Like, I'm the person where I can't get excited over a concept until I know who is writing and directing it, so I'm not too excited about it yet. Gina H, I really just like that people feel Finn wasn't a sex symbol, and yes, those changing lace fronts in the TLJ were trash. Gina, you just triggered me. I hate that. Okay, you know what? I'm not into men, but yo, John Boyega is a hot dude. Like, have you seen the guy? His skin has a perfect complexion. The dude is jacked as fuck. The dude is jacked. The dude is handsome as shit. And you had even Ray looking at him like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck that dude in my AT. I'm gonna fuck that dude in my AT right now. Don't watch. Hey. You watch The Force Awakens, and you tell me that's not what Ray was thinking when her and Finn first met. When he said when she met him, she had the gulp. She's like, damn, I'm gonna fuck this dude. Gina H. Okiro, why did Hux live? They legit cast an older actor to basically be a second version of him in The Rise of Skywalker, so why not kill him off in The Force Awakens? Here's the thing, Ryan... The Last Jedi ruined a lot of characters, and I think that Lucasfilm wanted to get rid of Hux. Because it's clear what JJ set up with Hux was not what he became. And I also think it happens to do with reshoots because Gleason said that he had to do a lot of reshoots for the. He got called in to do reshoots for the Rise of Skywalker, so that probably had something to do with it. I think originally the roles were reversed because I heard people saying that Pride was the one who was supposed to be a spy and not Hux. And that was because Pride was part of the old guard, but this isn't a scenario where Palpatine wasn't alive, and who knows if that's true. So the information's all muddy there, so I don't really have an answer for that. Marine, personally, I think John was so handsome in The Rise of Skywalker, like even more handsome than any of the other two films, and they should have built him up as a sex symbol. The fact that they didn't was part of his sidelining. Yeah, yeah, Finn does look good in The Rise of Skywalker. Between the hair, the new clothes, I mean, imagine if they would have let John have his facial hair. Imagine that. But this is actually a problem. This is actually a problem, though, with Disney Star Wars. This is actually a problem with a lot of blockbusters. You notice they don't like black men to have facial hair. They like black men usually to have short hair and be clean shaven. If you haven't noticed, there's very rare times you'll see a black man in mainstream media with facial hair if he is in like something like Star Wars, and that's because they're racist. It's a racist thing. The perfect Ezo Ruba II. The perfect revenge to racist bigots is to cast Michael B. Jordan as Revan and a British brunette actress as. No more British brunettes. Yeah, hey, what is Bastella? Is she white or Asian? I don't know personally. Ninth Doctor. Rey Solo would have been great. I love Rey and Han's relation with The Force Awakens. I wish Harrison was open to not dying in The Force Awakens. I actually agree with Han Solo dying in The Force Awakens. I just think it's rendered kind of pointless because they erase him in the sequels. Finn doesn't care that he died. Rey never talks about him after. And, yeah, that's it. That's great. He just didn't exist. Such a waste of an actor. I've always been preferable to Rey Skywalker personally, but that's hard to imagine thanks to The Last Jedi. Gina H. Smiley face. Gina H. Exactly. They need to stop playing. Yeah, they do. They need to stop playing. Like, people saying that John Boyega isn't a good-looking man. I'm like, come on. I'm a straight man. I can say John Boyega's a good-ass-looking man. I'm like, come on. Come on. Get your have your ass. That motherfucker could get it. I say as a heterosexual man. He could get it. I say that. Hiroko. LOL, many of us were Rey. You're right. Hiroko, I agree with Marine. Finn was supremely. I agree with Marine. Finn was supremely handsome, especially in The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, he was. I think it would have looked better if they could have let him, actually have John's goatee and grow his hair out a little more, but they were under a time crunch, so I get that. But like, imagine Finn now with like how long John's hair is with John's facial hair. Come on. Rey would have been in that cape closet in the next 5 minutes, making that shit just a fucking Niagara Falls. CVP. I love that name. I loved Hux in The Force Awakens. TLJ made him into a slapstick villain and non-threatening. General Pride was what Hux was supposed to be. Yeah, that's what it actually felt like. It felt like Lucasfilm just took him out. And I actually like Hux in Force Awakens a lot. I love good villains. He looked at Snoke getting up in his shit and he just said, yeah, fuck you, I'm not afraid of you. Like, that was some balls. And they just ruined it. They ruined the character of Hux for no reason at all. But the fact that they just didn't want to fix him. They wanted to just replace him. I feel like that was a Disney move, actually. I feel like that's what Disney would have done. Ninth Doctor. On potential KOTOR casting, I think Metra Surik should be a black woman, but maybe that's just because I've always used one of the black women player models. See, I've always had this KOTOR casting idea. I always had the idea that they should make Revan, Karen Fukushima from Suicide Squad, and they should make Michael B. Jordan the Exile. But that was just me. Gina H. My father told me that Avery Brooks had to have a low cut and no face hair for 4 years on DS9 before he was able to convince them to showrunners to let him go bald and have his goatee. Yeah. I remember when I used to act a lot. I was told to keep my hair short. I had to cut my dreadlocks off eventually, and I stopped getting acting roles as much when I started growing my hair out. Like right now, I've been growing my hair out all quarantine and I have an afro. And I probably would not get roles looking like this. I could not probably get roles looking like this having an afro and stubble. Like, you notice that, right? You never see black men with stubble. You see white men with stubble. You see Latin men with stubble. Hell, people love Poe because he has stubble. But you never get to see black men with longer hair and facial hair. Like, you never see that combination. Ever. You always, unless they're supposed to be playing a drug dealer or a criminal or someone like that. And it's fucking disgusting. Okay, Tired Droid. Should have at least had a flashback with all the original characters. You want to think funny? They actually did film that Tired Droid. They actually did film that. In the call sheet leaks, which were what they were filming on The Force Awakens, there was a flashback of young Han and Leia dropping off Kylo Ren to Luke. So we would have got one. Makes me sick, though. So, yeah. Hiriko Masa, is there one scene that, if removed, would have made TLJ better for you? Not that if it could ever be good. For me, it was Broom Boy. What would have made it better for me? What would have made it better for me? I think The Last Jedi would have been better if you removed basically every single scene of Rey saying there's good in Kylo and simping for him. It would have made the movie 20 times better for me. But to see Rey grovel for Kylo Ren and call him the Hope, the galaxy's last hope, I wanted to stab myself because I thought that was so stupid. Especially with what he did to her, what he did to Han, and what he did to Finn. I thought that was insulting beyond belief. Sorry, Gina H. Sorry, but Broom Boy triggers me. I hate Broom. One second, guys. I hate Broom Boy. I hate Broom Boy. Do you know that out of the black boy, the ginger girl, he was the only one that would have been freed of slavery, and put into Rey's Jedi Academy and Duel of the Fates. What the fuck? What the fuck? Why was he the only one freed? Why was he the only one force sensitive? That is so much bullshit. And I know, people are gonna say, oh, they freed the other slave kids. They freed them. They didn't say they did. They didn't say they did. They said they freed Broom Boy. They freed Broom Boy, and he was the only one who got to be force sensitive. That was bullshit. That shit hurt my soul. Ninth Doctor. He really had the Tarkin and Thrawn energy, and George did say he regretted killing off Tarkin in A New Hope one time. Yeah, Hux did, and I think that's why JJ had him. JJ wanted to have a Tarkin, Thrawn-like character, and they screwed it up, and I thought that would have been so good. Imagine having a Thrawn Tarkin-like character who was not afraid of Kylo, not afraid of Hux, and could have opposed the heroes as just as dangerous of a threat even without the Force. I think that would have made an amazing character, and they botched it for nothing but a couple jokes. Easy Robot the second. I love Finn, but Sabine would knock him out. Finn's got the Force. Finn's got the Force. I think Sabine would. I think Sabine would catch them hands. Like Finn's got the Force. He's a trained soldier, and he knows how to use a lightsaber. So I think Sabine would have. Oh, Sabine knows how to use a dark saber. I think it'd be a fair fight, but Force still wins, in my opinion, in that fight. Jan. All their champion. Hiriko Masa. That's so fucked up. Yeah, it is fucked up. Bakasta. I hate it. Yeah, I hate it too. Marine. I wanted to strangle myself when Ray said that. Yeah, I wanted to strangle that too. Marine. Like, bitch, you and Finn are right here. And you say some murderer who tortured you and killed Han, almost killed Finn, is the galaxy's last hope? I wanted to bitch slap Ryan. Yeah, I hated that too. It's such a lack of agency for her, and the fact that people say Rey in The Last Jedi is a feminist icon and female writing at their best is fucking disgraceful. Disgraceful. Rey is probably the worst character in The Rise of Skywalker when it comes to female representation, and the only reason she's not the worst is because she didn't kiss Kylo like The Rise of Skywalker Rey, which was horrible. But thank you. What the fuck was that? I'm hearing stuff. Bakasta, which is why the Batman continues to be the GOAT, because James Gordon has a beard. Yeah, it is, but Matt Reeves has creative control, and Warner Brothers is not like Disney. Warner Brothers aren't cowards when it comes to black people, unless it's Ray Fisher, then they are. Marine, Broom Boy was, in my honest opinion, the face of this because he was Ryan's self-insert. Yeah, I wonder if those rumors were true. I wonder if Broom Boy was supposed to be the main character of Ryan's sequel trilogy. Of Ryan's spin-off trilogy. I wonder sometimes. Maybe. Who knows? Oh, God, see that? Oh, God, see that? I am yawning again because I thought of Ryan's trilogy because that would be boring as hell for me personally. Hiriko. I am sure RJ's hopefully canceled trilogy was going to be the puberty of Broom Boy. Oh. Oh, God. Why'd you do that, Hiriko? Why'd you do that to me? Why'd you put that side in my head? But, yeah, probably. Jan, the forced humor in The Last Jedi wrecked a lot of the sinister tones with the Imperial First Order command. The call with Poe and Hux, mom jokes, what? Yo, I hated that, because that's... Okay, the yo mama joke in The Last Jedi is bad for multiple reasons. It kills tension. It makes it makes Hux looks like a weak ass character, and it's kind of insulting because if you know the EU, which Ryan said he worked with the story group, Hux doesn't have a mother. He was raised by an abusive father who abandoned his mother. So saying that is like, it's a slap in the face, and it's such an unnecessary slap in the face. I mean, yeah, he is a neo-Nazi, but there's other ways you can take the piss out of your villains with actually being, a threat. Fuck. The Ninth Doctor. I mean, Finn after a bit of Jedi training, sure, could be Sabine, but Finn during any of the movies, sorry, I don't think he could do it. Why not? Let's have that conversation now. Because there's this weird impression I keep seeing from a lot of people in the sequel trilogy fandom that Finn isn't a strong character. Finn is... Let's get some things straight here. If we're going by canon, which we have no choice to go by, Finn in Before the Awakening was one of the best troopers that the First Order had ever trained. He was the best trooper that Phasma ever trained, and even though I hate The Last Jedi, he still killed Phasma, who was the best soldier in the First Order. He was able to go, even if he did lose the fight, he went toe-to-toe with Darth Vader's grandson. And he still landed a hit on him. And if you believe that he originally was going to have a rematch with him, that's one thing. But let's just talk about canon. He never misses one shot. He's skilled in multiple different weapons. He knows how to ride a space horse. The character is definitely a combative force. I think he could take Sabine. She would not wipe the floor with him. I'm just gonna say that. And he's also got his age and his own skills. I think Sabine would get spanked by. Actually, no, I take it back. Sabine would get spanked by him. I'm gonna throw some rebel slander on the timeline. I think Sabine would get spanked by him personally. I mean, they'd have to do him justice because when it comes to Finn's power scaling, they're all over the place. Before the Awakening and the Force Awakens, EU says he's this, that, and the third, but the Last Jedi ignores that. If we're going by the Last Jedi Finn, no, he would lose. If we're going by the Finn as he's supposed to be, and before the Awakening, and even in The Rise of Skywalker, which was the first film to portray him as a soldier, nah, Finn got it. Tire Droid, what's your favorite female character in fiction? Katara, Toph, and Suki were my favorite. What's my favorite female character in fiction? Huh. What's my favorite choice in fiction? What's my favorite? I love Sarah Connor. I love Okoye. Okoye's gotta be my favorite. Fuck, I love her in Black Panther. She is such a... Yeah, it's her, Okoye in Black Panther. She's such a nuanced character. She is such a nuanced character. Yeah, it's gotta be her. Izu, that round-headed would make Kilo cry. I have no idea who I have no idea who that is. Marine, in my honest opinion, you can't make jokes about fascists when they are shown to be doing actually evil things and killing or torturing heroes. Yeah, you think. You think making your space neo-Nazi into a joke would be a bad idea. But, here we are. Hux is a joke. The guy who blew up 5 planets. 5 planets. The guy who is in the Stormtrooper program as well is a joke. The guy who stood up to Snoke and Kylo in the first movie. It's great. I love it. I hate it. Success. Gina H. I have nothing against the Broom Boy actor, just like I have nothing against the child actor who played Aang in Avatar The Last Airbender movie. Not their fault they were in a dog shit movies. No. I got nothing against the Broom Boy kid. Adorable little kid. I hate that he was used the way he was used because that was some racist bullshit. That was some racist bullshit. And I hated that. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We're stuck living with that. If we're lucky, we won't see it again. Oh wait, hey, I just found out that one guy is commented on the live stream. I gotta move that up. I got one like saying I was gonna do a live stream. Hey Elise, Jordan, if you guys are watching this live stream, y'all ain't shit for not liking that comment. I'm gonna haunt you guys later. Wait till you guys want to go on Discord later and talk. I'm kidding, guys. I love you fuckers. Crazy kids. Night Doctor. Finn is a strong character, but Mandalorian level? Nah, fam. Mando's on another level. Okay, yeah. Mandalorians are strong, but you know what? I still want to see what Finn can do without it. Because you know what? I think it could be a good fight. That's my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion on a Mandalorian versus Finn. But yeah, she does have better equipment than Finn. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that would make it hard. That would make it a hard fight for Finn. Okay, bare knuckle brawl out. I got my money on Finn. Equipment wise, yeah, Sabine probably got it. Sabine probably got that fight. Sabine definitely got it. Yeah, you guys got that. But yeah, I would actually try WandaVision, guys. If you guys haven't watched WandaVision, I would go for it. If you guys watched the video essay I made, I thought it was pretty refreshing, personally. I don't like the MCU. I think a lot of it is boring, personally. Like, just a preference. I'm not saying it is boring. But I'm just saying I personally find most of the MCU boring, and I find WandaVision to be a breath of fresh air. In its format, it's different. In its writing, it's actually mature. They're not shoving random... They allow tension. They're not shoving jokes in there because, well, it's a Marvel movie and Timmy Dipshit needs to laugh every 5 seconds or he'll cry himself to sleep. Like, I like what they're doing with it. Like, let's get things transparent. I don't like Wanda as a character, personally. I think she's boring most of the time. This made me interested in Wanda, and I have never thought she was interesting. Not once. So I was happy about that. I'm interested. I do like. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but it's definitely worth the watch. And I think watching it week by week is a frustrating thing, but personally, I don't mind it right now. I minded it at first, but when I got to episode 5, I realized, okay, this is why X, Y, and Z happened with the episodes. Guys, no one spoil WandaVision in the comments for people who haven't watched it. Ah, Jesus, sweet, merciful fuck, water tastes good, guys. Ah, it tastes great. Now I know how Father Time feels when he licks Jack Frost's booty hole. That made no sense, but I said it anyway. Marine, depends on what equipment Finn would have. I would think he would have a lightsaber. I think Finn versus Sabine with a lightsaber, I think Finn would win. Here's the problem with the sequel trilogy characters. Like, they don't get to live up to their conceptual roots. Like, the First Order Stormtroopers are tailored to be stronger than most Stormtroopers. They're supposed to be trained better. But there's no follow-through, which is weird. But if you had the characters as they're supposed to be, as they're described, I think Finn could probably beat everyone hand-to-hand combat. Just because Finn was trained that way. That's what Before the Awakening said, but again, it's just, it's the world we're stuck in. EU and the films don't like each other, and the EU is run by Pablo, who's a cuck. Before the Awakening is good because it was based off early versions of The Force Awakens, just like the TFA adult novel and the junior novel, and, you know, Michael Cugg is a gangster. God, I love that white man. You have rights. Izo Robot II, but Phasma is basically Boba level and Finn killed her. Yeah, he did. I just wish it would have been in a real fight instead of The Last Jedi, which kind of was an underwhelming fight. And it's not just strength either, it's also tactical brilliance. Like, Finn is a tactical person. But who knows, maybe we'll see them fist fight each other one day. Tired Droid, do you like DC? I fuck with DC. I'm sorry, I fuck with DC. I love the first Wonder Woman movie. I like Man of Steel. I like Batman v Superman. I like Aquaman. I love Static Shock. I love DC Comics. I like DC. I'm a DC man. That's where I grew up. It was good for me. Ninth Doctor. Waiting until the whole series is out to watch WandaVision. Well, good for you, but I want to watch it now. I'm kidding, dude. Bacasta, Finn versus Sabine will be the Batman versus Superman of the Star Wars, where we're talking about whether one character's gear could beat the other character's power. Finn could win. I'll die on that hill now. Look what you did. Look what you did, Ninth Doctor. Look what you did. Look what you did. You and your beautiful Ninth Doctor avatar, because I love the Ninth Doctor. Look what you did. Marine, I think Wanda became much more interesting. Yeah, she did, because she's not flat now. She's interesting. I actually don't mind if she's the one creating Westview. I think that'd be... Excuse me? I think that'd be an interesting development, because I wouldn't mind Wanda being this problematic, different character. I wouldn't mind that, personally. I could dig that. But who knows if they're actually going to do it. I think they are. I think that they've been setting it up for Wanda to be this anti-villain-like character. And you know what? I'm okay with her fucking a toaster if we get that. If she's fucking a toaster, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Wanda fucking her toaster. As long as she doesn't give her, you know, her little witchy some fruit from burn marks, I'm okay with that. I mean, the kids are going to have to get used to the electric shock therapy of, you know, their dad turning off and on the powers, but I'm okay with that. Gina H, laughing my ass off. Yeah, I do say weird things. Gina H, anybody excited for the Loki show? Yes and no. Like, I'm curious. I'm very curious about it. I can't say I'm excited. I'm curious. Loki as a character has always been a mixed bag for me. They've gotten him right, they've gotten him wrong. They've gotten him right, they've gotten him wrong. So I'm waiting to see what they do with him. I'll give it a chance. Can't wait for Loki, Tired Droid. Marine, are we Team Finn or are we Team Sabine? You know we're Team Finn, Marine. You want me to block you from this chat? Shivi P. The character of T'Challa is so important to a lot of people. Is it wrong of me to want to recast to complete T'Challa's story and honor Chadwick's legacy by taking that character to finish the line? I get the sentiment of wanting T'Challa's story to be finished. I really do. He means a lot to me. But that was Chadwick Boseman's legacy. That is his legacy. And to recast him would make it someone else's legacy, even if they are continuing that. I think that it's better we'll leave it as it is. It's not a good thing. The stuff with Chadwick is, it's horrible, and it's always going to be horrible. He was too young, and he meant so much to a lot of people. He meant a lot to the black community, and I don't know if anytime soon the black community is going to get over that. We are all still pretty much hurting a lot, but I understand wanting T'Challa's story to be finished, but I don't want it finished like that. Not like that. Let's go back to the chat. Gina H. It might be more satisfying than an actual dude's. Marine. I hope to be amused by the Loki show. I am Team Finn, of course, and Team Godzilla. Just wanted to make that clear. I am Team Godzilla. You are not going to tell me that scaly motherfucker. You're not going to tell me that scaly motherfucker is going to start clapping the monkey cheeks. Godzilla is going to clap monkey cheeks. Godzilla ain't got shit. King Kong ain't got shit on Godzilla. King Kong ain't got shit on Godzilla. Godzilla is going to clap them cheeks. We are going to be seeing some monkey clapping cheeks on the big screen in IMAX. I hope y'all ready for it. He's going to clap them cheeks. I don't mean fight either. I mean, he is going to clap them cheeks. It is going to be clap, 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 clap. That is going to be Godzilla. That's all you're going to hear on screen. Some scaly pelvis thrusted as he's clapping that monkey butt. Godzilla is going to win. I don't know what any of y'all talking about. He's going to clap them cheeks. I am definitely losing subscribers when I turn this off. It's definitely going to say you lost like 40 subscribers, dude, for being a fucking weirdo. Team Finn or Team Sabine? True answer. Gonk Droid. You damn right. Marine. LOL Gonk Droid. Gina H. Agreed. I think the Wakanda show will be a good to carry the mantle. No recasting of T'Challa. Yeah, I think that's actually what they're doing now. I think that's going. I don't know if they're doing a Black Panther 4. I think they're going to just have the Wakanda show be about the people of Wakanda. And honestly, I think in the new age of how streaming services are working and the death of movie theaters, I think that's better. I think I might appreciate a Wakanda show where I get a weekly dose of my black culture than, one movie. Because I think I'd appreciate it more, personally. Izu. They are going to bring Killmonger back. Well, no. Michael B. Jordan said he's open to returning, and we probably will see Killmonger in that afterlife world, but I don't think he's going to be alive again. Because he's dead, and they buried him in the ocean. Like, how are you bringing him back? He would just be like a moldy skeleton. Do you really want people to experience moldy Michael B. Jordan? you will destroy a lot of people thirsting after him. Like, for God's sakes, the man is probably one of the most thirst after men in Hollywood, and all he walks around with is a t-shirt and jeans. Everyone wants to fuck him. He's a handsome man, I'll give him that. Bacasa, you know those Godzilla vs. Kong memes where it's I'm sure to win because of X trait? For Furnace, I'm sure to win because of my force powers. For Sabine, I'm sure to win because of my bombs. For Gonk Droid, I'm sure to win because I'm Gonk. Marine, as for Killmonger, I felt his story was over in Black Panther. I think he was an amazing villain, but I also can't see him as a replacement for T'Challa. Like, what he has done is just too much for that. See, here's the thing. T'Challa's story is done, but in the same vein, if they can bring Loki back 20 billion fucking times after he literally tried to destroy the world, and he did kill 80 people, what Killmonger did isn't that bad in comparison. But I think in terms of narrative integrity, I think they should keep him dead. But, you know, in terms of if they want to bring him back, well, look at Loki. He should have been dead years ago, and he's still here. So I can't knock anyone who wants to bring Killmonger back. Because, you know, well, Loki. As for ShiVP, I totally respect and understand your opinion, Kiro. It is a very sad thing, and yeah, in a way, it is taking away from his legacy. Yeah, you know, recasting T'Challa, it moves the legacy. If T'Challa ends with Chadwick Boseman, the character is forever Chadwick's legacy. If you recast him, then it's not. It's just that point in time that's his legacy, but it's not. He's not the character. And in that regard, I think that's why Nolan didn't want to recast Joker, even though the Joker was integral to his next Batman movie. He knew that that version of the Joker was Heath Ledger's legacy, and to recast Heath Ledger would have taken away from his legacy. So yeah, in that regard, we can't recast him ever. Marine, Killmonger like Palps. Oh God, no. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Killmonger like Palps with some moldy skin. And he talks like this. Gina H. Guys, I gotta jump. The game has started and I have to start my Bulagi? This was great. Okay, I'll definitely want to do more of these. Okay, Gina. Hey, Gina, I'm gonna do a poll in the Patreon to see when you guys want me to do the next stream. Since you guys are the Patreons, you guys can start choosing the times. I think it'd probably be better to do earlier than later. But yeah, I'll see you. You have a good night, Gina. ShiVP, Kong gonna throw his poop at Godzilla. That's disgusting, ShiVP. That's disgusting. Marine, well, I mostly say I really have an issue with Loki's confusing character changes. How he was meant to be a cheater and a prankster, but not a wannabe dictator. Well, you can blame Josh Whedon for that. Because you know what? He is not. That's not who he is. That's not who he is in Thor 1. But, you know, that's who he is in Avengers 1 as a horrible character. Tired Droid. Got to ask, what do you think of Zahir from Legend of Korra? I found him being boring, unsympathetic, and his ideology isn't a good representation of anarchism. Fuck Zahir. You hear me? Fuck Zahir. He is the most boring villain in that show, and that is saying something when you had Satan in Korra. That is saying something when you had the Avatar version of Satan in Korra. He was a basic-ass anarchist bitch. And the fact that Korra had to go to him for help after what he did to her? Nah. That's what I say to that. Nah. But in all seriousness, he is such a boring representation of anarchism. I mean, anarchism has its problems, but if you really wanted to make Zero an interesting concept of a character, you should have made him an extreme socialist. No, actually, don't do that because that'll give socialist a bad name. But his version of anarchy is just so edgy. Like, I felt like I could shave myself with his edge. I felt like I could shave King Kong's ass with his edge. I felt like I could take Zair's edginess and just shave King Kong's ass hair. That's how edgy he was to me. I could shave all of his ass hair. Bacasta. How Finn versus Sabine will end. Sabine, save Ezra. Finn, assuming that... Oh, Ezra, I swear to God, if you make fun of Batman v Superman one more time, I swear to God, Bacasta, I'm gonna fight you. You know I love that movie. Tire Droid, but that's me. Yeah, no, Tire Droid, I agree with you. You're goddamn motherfucking right. You can bet your sweet virtual ass on that. Marine. Oh, no, you're not talking to me. God damn it, I almost turned off my phone again. Hiriko Masa. I wish Palp's return could have been less nonsensical because I love him. I like Palpatine, but you know what? I kind of like him dead, too. Like, to me, I saw Snoke as Plagueis. That's what I think Snoke was supposed to be. I think Snoke was Plagueis who found a way to cheat death. And that's what would have been the sequel trilogy about, and I think that's why Luke went to the island at first, to find a way to kill Plagueis once and for all. But, you know, that turned out to be a crapshoot when Ryan makes Snoke literally no one, and, well, he killed him. So that's great. That's great. I love it. Thank you. I hate it. Palpatine could have been written better in The Rise of Skywalker indeed. It's not crazy to think he could have come back, but the approach was obviously rushed. I think it is crazy because they don't establish it. I mean, yeah, you could clone him like they did in Legends, but I hated that in Legends too. We had Snoke right there. We had Snoke right there, and we had Kylo right there. Like, we didn't need Palpatine. So here, Bernie Sanders memes. Oh God, what have I started? I love you, Hiriko Masta. Yeah, what have I started? Yeah. Tire Droid. Finally, someone gets it. Though I still think Korra's uncle, whose name I don't remember and don't care to look up, is more boring. That was Korra's uncle? That was Korra's uncle? Wow, I didn't know that. Marine, I think the idea of Palps leaving his spirit somewhere or them continuing his plan this entire time could have been very interesting, but not mummy corpse shit. Yeah. See, here's the thing. Here's what my idea was. Here's what my idea was. Plagueis was Snoke, and Plagueis would have hijacked the remnants of the Empire because he felt that the Empire was his by right because of because Palpatine betrayed him, and that Empire would have been his if Palpatine had betrayed him. So I believe Plagueis as Snoke took control of the First Order because he felt that was his by right. But there would be a divide over someone like Kylo who wants to bring back the Sith Empire, which would also create a divide in the New Order who doesn't want to follow the old Empire because they feel like the old Empire didn't know what they were doing. So we would have a three-way war. We would have the New Republic on one side, the First Order on this side, and the reborn Sith Empire on the third side. But that's just me. That's what I thought. I'm weird. Snoke as Plagueis was the best story. It would have been relevant. It would have made the story whole. But nah. Ryan made everyone no one. Yeah, he did. Isn't that weird? Snoke is no one. Rey is no one. Everyone's a no one. The Hay. I like Snoke being an original character. I do and I don't. Just because I'm like, where the fuck were you, sir, in the original trilogy? But you know what? If they explained it correctly, I could have let it rock. I would have felt like it's a little jarring for the end of the Skywalker saga to start with a no one, but you know what? We did have a no one hero, so we maybe we could have started with a no one villain. I don't know. Marine, in my opinion, if you have the same villain for two trilogies, you have a villain connected to the Skywalker family, with Rey being a Skywalker, of course. Yeah, they screwed the pooch with Rey. Yeah, I remember the guy who Jan. Yeah, I remember the guy who lived for a very long time, transferring his essence. I remember the Vitiate. I called him Vitiate. I know he changed his name a couple times. And I remember he started another empire out of boredom. Yeah, that's what my idea with Snoke was. I didn't think Snoke was Vitiate, but I thought that Snoke was going to be like, I thought they were going to take Vitiate's story and give it to Plagueis. That's what I thought. Ninth Doctor. Snoke should have been Plagueis, and it should have been revealed that Plagueis is who created Anakin using the Force and who created Rey using the Force. I don't know. Well, see, here's the thing. Plagueis didn't create Anakin, according to I think it was George. I don't know. I really, you're gonna have to fact check me on this. According to someone, though, according to someone, either George or the Darth Plagueis novel, Anakin was a result of Palpatine trying to create life, but he didn't create Anakin. He indirectly created Anakin. That's what I mean. He didn't directly create Anakin. Plagueis was trying to manipulate life, and the Force said, "Hey, fuck you. We're gonna create this motherfucker. Hey, Anakin, here's a desert planet. Have some mental issues." Oh, my neighbor's having sex again. Huh, that's weird. Lovely. But here's what I thought. What happened with Snoke? Plagueis tried to cheat death by creating a new life for himself, and that resulted in Snoke being born, which was, Jesus Christ, calm down, guys. Fuck, it's like, are they fucking during halftime? And that resulted in Snoke. He tried to cheat death, and in cheating death, he created a new being called Snoke. It was him, but it was not him. Hiriko. Well, of course Snoke theory sucked, remember? Ugh, I hate Ryan Johnson with a passion. Yeah, you know that was Pablo Hidalgo too? Pablo was sharing that. He was saying your Snoke theories suck. Don't you guys love that? Don't you guys love when you're told your theories suck? Doesn't that feel great? It makes me feel goody. It makes my fucking rectum feel great. Let me see if I can pull that up, actually. Let me see if I can pull that up, that little picture of Pablo and Ryan. Okay, that's Rick Grimes. That's weird. Let's see if I can pull that picture up. You guys are gonna get to see Pablo. Pablo, where are you, Pablo? Why are you hiding from me, Pablo? Do you know what I'm going to do to you, Pablo? I should not say that. That could be counted as a threat, even if I am joking. Oh, look, there's my Anakin memes. Funny, you guys don't know this, but I have an entire folder of Anakin memes. And they are all Youngling memes. I have an entire folder of Youngling Anakin memes, and I have no regrets from it. Oh, there's Bob Iger. Why is Bob Iger in my computer? Zack Snyder, George Lucas. Jesus Christ, guys, help me find this. Actually, don't. That would mean you have to hack into my computer. I can't find it. Yeah, it was somewhere. My computer does not want to show me Pablo. Okay, I agree. That's for the best. Okay. Marine, I gotta go to bed now. It was lovely as usual. Have a good night, Marine. I'll see you another day. Tire Droid, what's your thoughts on Eamon? I liked his voice and design, but his backstory, motivation, and him being a bloodbender was dumb. I think they got him good at first, but they totally shat the bed with him by the end. Phantom Max. I wish the New Republic was the protagonist faction, while the First Order were the dark mirror of the Rebel Alliance. I fuck with you, Phantom Max. I fuck with you. Jan, it would have been great to see pureblood Sith working under Snow Plagueis. I actually thought one of the Knights of Ren was going to be a pureblood Sith. I don't know why they didn't do that. Such a waste, if you ask me. Kuvira, what was the only good... Kuvira was the only good villain for me, but I didn't like the forced connection between her and Korra and her redemption arc, if you could call it that. Hey, you know, at least Kuvira had to go to trial. That's something not even Ben Solo had to do, so, you know. We got that. I do like Kuvira as a character. I just wish they had a little better execution. My problem with Bright is they have a lot of good ideas, but it just always seems like they don't know what they're doing sometimes when they're writing. I think they needed Aaron Ehas, even if he is kind of problematically regarded these days. The Hey. Loved your Luke Skywalker video essay. How did it feel for Mark Hamill to acknowledge it? That was big for me. That was big. Oh, wait, hold on. A new Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer dropped. Hey, guys, would you guys like to watch the new Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer? Let's watch it. You guys get to see my live reaction to the Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's go watch the Falcon and Winter Soldier trailer. Let's see if it's good. Let's go to fuck me. No, guys. I meant like fuck me as an insult. Please don't, not literally. Falcon and the Winter Soldier trailer. Let's see how that looks, guys. Okay. Let's set this up. Let's set up the windows so you guys can see. Browser source. Done. Oh, God. Okay, I'm just going to put this right over here. Let's choose a local file. That's not it. 1 second, guys. Can't believe we got a new trailer. Sweet mercy. Cut. Control V. Okay, let me know when that appears for you guys, if it ever does. Okay, there we go. Let's see this new trailer.
So, who would like to start? Mr. Barnes, why does Sam aggravate you?
15 seconds to drop. So what's our plan?
Great.
Okay, this looks good. This looks good.
Superheroes cannot be allowed to exist. I have no intention to leave my work unfinished.
The world's upside down right now.
Where do we start?
Okay, you better not cock block me from Sam being the Captain America.
I have a plan. Oh yeah? What is it?
Is you ready?
Here we go again, huh?
Sharon Carter.
Can't take that from us. Are you ready? Is you ready? You fucking ready? Ready? Is you ready? Are you ready? Is you ready?
That little girl kicked your ass.
Yes. Yes.
See? That wasn't so hard.
Are you ready? Is you ready?
Okay.
Say you ready.
What are you doing?
Whole squad ready.
Are you having a staring contest?
Are you ready? Is you ready?
Just blink. Sweet Jesus. And how old are you?
Holy shit. I'm sorry, guys. This fucking stream got weak. Yeah, I'm sorry. The stream's acting up. Oh, that was beautiful, guys. That was great. I cannot wait for that show. Okay, okay, we're back. Okay, let's watch the trailer again. The stream just went back on. It went off and went on, so let's watch that again. Let's just watch that one more time, and cause I'm sorry, I gotta see it twice. Oh, here, let me make it actually bigger for you guys too. Let me make it bigger for you guys. Let me make that bigger. Let me put that in the chat. I just realized you guys probably don't see what I'm seeing. Let's just make that bigger, because bigger is always better.
So, who would like to start? Mr. Barnes, why does Sam aggravate you?
15 seconds to drop. So what's our plan?
Great.
Superheroes cannot be allowed to exist. I have no intention to leave my work unfinished.
Huh. Okay, it's still being a fucking cuck. What the fuck? Hold on, guys. As you can tell, I'm still new to streaming. Let's try a Windows one, cause that is being... Okay, let's try this one. This one's gonna work better. There we go. You guys actually get to see what I'm seeing for once. Okay, let's watch the trailer again. Welcome to seeing what I see.
So, who would like to start? Mr. Barnes, why does Sam aggravate you?
15 seconds to drop. So what's our plan?
Great.
Superheroes cannot be allowed to exist.
Zemo.
I have no intention to leave my work unfinished.
We got an evil ginger.
The world's upside down right now.
Where do we start?
Whole squad ready. We came here to see Jeff. What you got? No, not on my.
Buck, I have a plan.
Oh yeah?
What is it?
Is you ready?
Here we go again, huh?
We've been grinding hard on the job.
Oh.
Can't take that from us. Are you ready? Is you ready? You said you ready. Ready? Is you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, 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 yes.
That little girl kicked your ass.
Gotta get that first shot off before that bullet hit me.
See? That wasn't so hard.
Are you ready? Is you ready? Okay. You say you ready.
What are you doing?
Whole squad ready.
Are you having a staring contest?
Are you ready? Is you ready?
Just blink. Sweet Jesus. I mean, how old are you?
Oh, that looks good. That looks good. I can't wait for that. Okay, let me get back to the questions. They're in therapy. Yes, Hiriko, they are. I love it. It's so fucking corny. I fucking love those losers. Jan, Okiro, love your view on this. John Boyega, beautiful English accent. Why was he made to use an American accent? John injecting himself into Finn as much as possible would have been more ideal. I actually don't think this was a racist thing. I actually think this was, I think this was an American thing because they tried really hard to get Daisy to have an American accent too, and she just couldn't have it. If you guys watch the interview of the Scavenger and the Stormtrooper, it's on Disney Plus. You can briefly hear Daisy talking in her American accent, and she is just fucking terrible. She is just terrible with an American accent. She's just terrible with it. She's good now. She's gotten better, but that's 5 years, guys. That's half a decade. That's half a decade later. But they wanted both of them to have an American accent, but they settled on keeping Daisy with her British accent, but John doing an American one because he was able to do one. Which, credit to what credit is due, John is fucking amazing with accents. He can do Southern accents. He can do a Detroit accent. He can do a lot of different accents. The man's got a lot of talent in how he does things. So hey, kudos to him. I really enjoyed. Kudos to him. But yeah, I personally would have enjoyed seeing John with his British accent, because if you guys watch Pacific Rim Uprising, his personality jumps. Like, don't get me wrong, Finn has a lot of charisma. Don't get me wrong, but Finn's personality, John's personality jumps off the screen when he can use his normal accent. And also, I think it would have been interesting that Finn would have had this British accent, because it would have driven home a little closer that, hey, let's get rid of the stereotype that British people are all evil. I think it would have been interesting, but you know, Disney, American, mass appeal audience, all that bullshit. And yeah, I do think it was the fact that they let Daisy use her English accent, but I just think it was timing personally, but yeah. Tired Droid. In Korra, the only Red Lotus member I liked was Gazan, the lava bender, because he seemed like a cool dude. He did. Hiriko, I also wondered that since especially Naomi Aki got to keep her British accent. Yeah, I really don't think it had anything to do with racism when it came to John. I think it was just he could do it and Daisy couldn't. I think in hindsight they probably would have left John keep the British accent. But it might also have been because of the time period. They were also simping for British white brunettes, so they could have also been, hey, just let her keep it. I don't know. I thought she had it because Jen Erso had it. Originally, I thought Jen Erso was Rey's mother, but you know, that turned out not to happen because the world hates me. Jan, also, Jedi Master Finn with graying hair and a beard. Any artist watching, please draw. If you want, Jan, I could hit up one of my commission artists to do that. I could hit that up. In fact, I think I will hit that up. Nine Doctor. John used an American accent because he felt the reactions he was getting during his audition weren't great, so he tried the American accent. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, never mind. Racism. Never mind. I forgot that he kept trying Finn with his British accent, and it wasn't until he tried the American accent that everyone was sold. And by everyone, I mean Disney Lucasfilm, because JJ kept bringing John back. JJ kept bringing John back, and I don't mean to. I'm not throwing shade. If Daisy got the role, John would have got. If Daisy got her role, John would have been able to get his role 20 times over again, because, well, John is a pretty good fucking actor. But yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. 1 second. Sorry, I got a text message I had to reply to. I know I'm texting during a stream and an asshole. Yeah, that's weird. Black British people exist. Yeah, Hirka, I didn't know that. I forgot that. And I was just watching the fucking stream of that. I was just watching the interview, the documentary of that, and that fucking sucks. Man, fuck Lucasfilm. They can eat a dick. They can eat all the dick. They can eat all the fucking dick. That truck scene is going to be next to Daredevil hallway fight. I can see it raw. Now. Oh, sorry. Hiroko Masa. Their chemistry is chef's kiss. Hiroko Masa. That scene was totally just Mackie and Sam fucking around. Yes, it was. I can't wait. I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see that show. I can't wait to see that show. I really can't. I'm sorry. I don't mean to talk shit here. Sam and Bucky have what Finn and Poe fans wish they had. I'm sorry. Sam and Bucky, they're what people wished Finn and Poe were. I'm sorry about that. They the real ones. They the real ones. I dig that shit. I can't wait to see that. I get Mel Gibson and Danny Glover vibes. Jesus. Yeah, it looks good. Alexander W. Babu Frick and Zori versus Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian. No. Oh, God, no. No. Actually, you know what? I don't know. You know, that actually would be... Oh, no, wait. No. Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian. The Force. I forgot. Baby Yoda had the Force. Yep. Hands down. You know, I really hate how in the Rise... You know, I'm going to complain about the Rise of Skywalker. I really hate how in the Rise of Skywalker, Rey got the jump on everyone, all the Spice Runners. Like, give us some character agency. Let Rey get her ass whooped for once. Like, I love Rey. She's a sweetheart. I love Finn Rey. You guys know that. You guys have seen my Twitter posts. You guys know I'm working on a long video, but come on. Let her get her ass whooped once. Let us feel like she's in danger. You don't let us feel in danger. We're never going to care about any fight she's in. That's what I don't get Disney Lucasfilm wanted. And this is not a JJ problem. This is not just a Ryan problem. This is Rey in literally every single fight she has ever been in the entire history of her character, except for Before the Awakening and the first half of the Force Awakens. Jan, it's Star Wars. The accent shouldn't matter too much. That's just my view. I mean, Bill Burr, who I love, even came out defending his Boston accent. Yeah, you know, I agree that too. It shouldn't matter at all. But here's the problem with the sequel trilogy. Lucasfilm treated it like some mass market appeal. They wanted it to appeal to so many people. So to them, accents did matter. They mattered a lot. And I feel like that hurt it a lot. And that's just my opinion, but I think that instead of them worrying about, like, the perceptions of other people, because they did, They worried about the perceptions of so many different things when making the sequel trilogy. Oh, if we have a black guy, can he still play a tortured character, stormtrooper? Should we inject more humor in there? Should we inject more humor into Finn? Should we? John, you're reading very angry. Tone it down. Your eyes they read very angry. Daisy, we're really not sure if we want to have a pragmatic survivor lead. You know, we really want Rey to be a role model. So, you know, can you play her as a goody two shoes 24/7? But don't worry, you can still hit Finn. You know, he's black. That's okay. In context though, I will say that it makes sense. It makes sense in the context of the scene that Rey hit Finn, but still, I'm mad that Rey never hit Kylo. I'm mad that she never did any damage except till the Rise of Skywalker after The Force Awakens, and then she healed him anyway. I'm getting off topic. I'm tangenting. I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I'm angry. The sequel trilogy won't be in my personal collection in any shape or form, nor will I show it to anyone I know. I'm a hater this way. I like The Force Awakens, but I understand why people feel that way. Hey, look at that. It's possible for people who like something about the sequels and people who don't like the sequels to get along. I wonder, it almost sounds like people who said if you don't like the sequel trilogy, you're racist bigots were stupid assholes. Maybe people just don't like things. Who knew? In Core Season, Tire Droid, in Core Season 2, I wish they had used Aang a lot more since they were going to kill him / all the past lives, especially since they only talked twice the whole series. What they did to... There are parts of The Legend of Korra that I just hate. Like, I think they didn't do as much damage as... I think The Legend of Korra didn't do as much damage as the sequel trilogy did, but I do think the problems reflect a lot of the same. But one thing I'll give The Legend of Korra, at least for the most part, it was able to be a show that its own fans can enjoy. Fans of the sequel, there are no fans of the sequel trilogy. You have fans of The Force Awakens, you have fans of The Last Jedi, and you have fans of The Rise of Skywalker that sometimes overlap with fans of The Force Awakens, but you don't have fans of all three. I mean, you do, but those are like the minority, and they have shit. I'm not saying if you love all the Star Wars movies, you have shit opinions. I'm just saying that it's very hard to consolidate all three of those films logically between each other. That I personally just can't do. That's so gross. John was done so dirty. Yeah, John was done so dirty. It really is disgusting. I do hope if John does come back for a spin-off show, he doesn't have to work with Alan Horn, Kathleen Kennedy again. I know white fanboys get in their feelings every single time someone says, "Are you criticizing Kathy?" But yeah, I kind of am. She manages the sequel trilogy. I'm not saying she's an evil woman. I'm just saying that, you know, she manages the sequel trilogy and a lot of its faults can be put on her. Creatively, no, she doesn't manage it. Creatively, I do think she should have stayed out of the sequel trilogy. According to the concept artist, she did pitch ideas that were pretty wonky, but all I'm saying is this. She led the sequel trilogy bad. If you compliment Kevin for leading the MCU good, you got to acknowledge that Kathleen Kennedy has had some hits and misses. That doesn't mean I hate her because she's a woman. But I think she's done a pretty bad job. But that's just my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion. I think she could have led the trilogy better. I think she could have led everything better. She was a bad producer. People gotta accept that. She cut his face. What? Am I missing something? I feel like I missed part of the conversation. I don't think I could pull off an American accent. I don't think I could pull off many accents. I've had accents before, but I don't think I could pull off anyone. Of course, people say I say daughter weird. I don't know why. You know that they had no confidence with storytelling and were clouded by extreme BS and expectations, most of which people weren't validated. We needed one director like Heizog who isn't afraid of anything when it comes to direction. Hell, he'll tell people to jump if he feels that I'm sorry, tongue tied. He'll tell people to jump if he feels that are damaging the film. I could just imagine Wayner being the director of Disney Warner doing it this day. See, here's the thing. I'll defend JJ in the fact that he was the one who came up with these ideas. He wanted Finn to be a black stormtrooper. He wanted Rey to be pragmatic. The fact is, he was working with Disney Lucasfilm, and if you guys haven't noticed, they have that problem even in the films. Of course, Kevin does more because Kevin knows his audience better, but they have that problem more. Lucasfilm has that problem much more, and it's very transparent if you ask me. It really is. It really shows how things are kind of going down the tube sometimes out of Lucasfilm. And you have these little white kids on Twitter, and I say little white kids because it's always the same thing. You have these little white boys and girls saying, "Oh God, you don't like Kathleen Kennedy, you hate women." No, what the fuck? What does that mean? I hate women. I don't give a fuck what your gender is. I just want the sequel trilogy to be managed good. I don't care if it's done by a woman, a man, a trans person, a black person. Of course, these people don't say you just hate women to black people because they know that in the whole minority bingo card that is social media, they lose. They just block them and ignore them because that's what they love to do. I don't hate Kathleen Kennedy. I don't hate Kathleen Kennedy. I don't hate Kathleen Kennedy's management of Lucasfilm because she's a woman. I don't hate Kathleen Kennedy's management of Lucasfilm because she has leftist politics. I have leftist politics, even though I'm not conservative or I'm not conservative or liberal or a Democrat Republican. I'm middle. I'm a left-leaning middle person, but like, I don't hate Kathleen Kennedy's management of Lucasfilm because of her politics, because if you think the sequel trilogy is SJW propaganda, I hate to tell it to you, it's not. It's the farthest thing from SJW propaganda. It's not. It's actually kind of alt-right at times. I hate Kathleen Kennedy's management because she did a bad job. That's it. She did a bad job. She did a bad job managing it, and that's just the truth. She did a bad job managing a lot of the films too. Like, it's okay to admit that. I don't know why so many white knights are simps for her. Like, we don't do that to Kevin. Kevin fucks up. We say Kevin fucked up. Kevin fucked up. Kevin fucked up a couple times. Avengers 2.5 wasn't that good. The best thing about it is we got to see Spider-Man and T'Challa, but outside that, I don't care about the film. He fucked up. We can admit that. She fucked up. It's okay. People fuck up. But the second you don't hold people accountable for fucking up is when they get their ego and when things never stop getting fucked up. Like, I'm gonna be honest. It's something that we can have a discussion about. Finn is not allowed to be a nuanced character. He has to be a safe character. Rey has to be a safe character. But just look at The Last Jedi. That has probably the most conservative ideals I've ever seen in Star Wars. Finn. Let's look at Finn's arc. Don't make up your mind for yourself. It doesn't matter if you're a slave soldier. You die for this cause, soldier. You get in the fucking cockpit. Finn's arc is all about disregarding the individuality he built up in The Force Awakens and accepting conformity to be part of a cause regardless of if he believes in it. Rose might as well be an army recruiter. Poe, follow orders no matter how nonsensical they are, even if you don't get a plan when people are dying around you. Rey, always go back to the white man who abused you, no matter what. Luke, I don't even know how to describe Luke. And let's just get to the end of the film. Is The Last Jedi the film that's called SJW propaganda? Do we see Rey fix all the problems of the film? No, Rey is rendered useless at the end of the film, and the most important characters at the end of the day in the Last Jedi were the 29, 30-year-old white guy and the white boomer. How is that SJW propaganda? Ryan doesn't care about black people. Last Jedi didn't care about black people. Last Jedi didn't care about Rose Tico. That's just my opinion. I mean, that's not even my opinion. That's what I saw. The sequel trilogy is the last thing from SJW propaganda, and I hate when I hear that. Whether you like Korra or not, you can't deny that the show has great animation. Yes, it does. The animation for Korra is fucking amazing. Rey cut Kylo's face. I meant the last time Rey hurt Kylo after The Force Awakens. She cut his face and his chest in The Force Awakens too. I just think that I hate how Rey wasn't allowed to have any integrity as a character, and she had to just conform to Kylo. It made me very uncomfortable to see, personally. Not because because that's not strong. That's not being a strong character. That's not being a strong woman character. She bends over backwards for Kylo, and all he does is abuse and hurt her. And I hear people defend this writing, saying, "Oh, well, I think it's good writing because I was in an abusive relationship." That doesn't make it sensical. It's nonsensical. She deserves better. The first female protagonist of Star Wars deserved better than to be a tug of war between Origins and how much she wants to save Kylo. She deserves better than that. Rey deserved better than to be that. Deserved better to be a blank, empty symbol. Deserved better than kept trying to save the person who abused her. She did. I don't care anyone who says anything else. She definitely did deserve better. I think if J.J. Abrams had been given the sequel trilogy, I think if J.J. had been given the sequel trilogy, do I think it would have been groundbreaking? Depends. If he was able to work with George Lucas, if J.J. Abrams directed the trilogy while writing the screenplay with Lawrence Kasdan and George Lucas for the entire sequel trilogy, yes. I do think the sequel trilogy would have been the best trilogy since the OT. If he worked with George and Lawrence wrote with him. Okay? I don't want anyone to take that out of context. But if J.J. Abrams was given complete creative control to work with George Lucas and Lawrence Kasdan, I think the sequel trilogy would have been breathtaking. And I think it would have had a lot of fans of it. That's my personal opinion, though. Rian Johnson is actually a great director. He didn't know Star Wars, though. What could you get him to write a story? Why would you get him to write the story? Confused me. I don't think Ryan really is a good director. I think he is a visually good director. I think Ryan is a visually good director. I don't think he's a good writer. And I think sometimes his desire for visuals overtakes his desire for common sense and storytelling. He values visuals and concepts over execution and story. And I think that makes him bad for Star Wars. But if you had to hire him, I would have just given him a spin-off. Because you want to know why? If you've noticed on my videos, I don't like to play the Ryan versus JJ game, even though I am more biased to JJ and I disagree with Ryan. Because I do believe it was Lucasfilm's fault that the trilogy went to shit, but I think that if Lucasfilm put Ryan in a spin-off and gave not spin-off trilogy, don't get me wrong, no spin-off trilogy. I think before the sequel trilogy started, if they gave Ryan his own anthology film and they gave JJ the trilogy, at least we would have had a coherent trilogy within itself. We might not have had a groundbreaking trilogy because if they only wanted JJ to do it, he has his limitations and his flaws, I'll admit. But at least we would have had a coherent trilogy and he could have fucked off with a spin-off. But that's that. Magifree. The sequel trilogy is less SJW than the original trilogy and prequel trilogies. Yeah, I mean, literally the prequel trilogy leans more heavily on liberal politics than any of the trilogies in Star Wars. Likewise with the original trilogy. What the people behind the sequel trilogy do, though, is just claim they are claim they are doing it from leftist politics, but they're not. The people making the sequel trilogy have leftist politics, but the films themselves do not reflect that. Hiriko Masuda. Rey becomes Kylo's therapist and fleshlight. Well, yeah, because that's what the fans demanded. That's what fans who would flood every single post about Rey and Kylo demanded, and that's what Ryan apparently wanted. And I think that was a problematic decision to make. Let's just call a thing a thing. Yeah, that's what it was. It was insulting. Izu Robot II. Last Jedi brought back the rotten status quo, which is dying. Yeah, it did. The Last Jedi brought back the status quo of the white people, the white men are the only one who matters. And I'm not saying like white male characters can't be important. You guys know, as Luke Skywalker is my favorite character, what I feel. I don't care of the race or gender of a character. But to say that The Last Jedi is this progressive film that breaks the patriarchy and breaks the glass ceiling, whatever the fuck it's called, it's not that, fam. It sidelines a black character. It treats an Asian woman as a prop for a theme. It treats a white woman as a prop for another theme. It treats a Latin man as a punching bag. It ain't that deep. It ain't that deep. All this Avatar talk, you looking forward to the live action series? If it's live action, if it's even still in production, given the creators dropped out. Yeah, the Avatar the live action show is in production still. Their break is just not part of it. I mean, I don't know if it's actually still in production because of COVID. It was actually supposed to be out recently, so there's that. I will say I'm looking forward. I will say I'm curious, but I'm just going to be honest. Avatar shouldn't be live action. It got its medium. It was well loved in animation. I don't know why it's being adapted into live action. What story can they tell live action that they couldn't tell animated? I mean, they only want the characters to fuck. But I don't know. I'm not excited for the live action because I feel like it's being made for all the wrong reasons. Hiriko Masa, yeah, Crate looked cool, but then what? A cool looking planet where weird shit happens? Crate looks so empty. It just looks like Hoth. It just looks like a salty version of Hoth. Like, I don't think that The Last Jedi has good... I think The Last Jedi has good visuals for what... I think Ryan is a good visual director for the story he wants to tell, which is a very subjective story which might not hit with a lot of people. And that's okay. That's okay if that's what you're into. That's not what personally I'm into, but that's okay if what you're into. And I feel like that's the worst choice for Star Wars, to pick a director who will make some... I feel like that's the worst choice of Star Wars, someone who looks at Star Wars so nihilistically, but also so selfishly. Because The Last Jedi was not... The Last Jedi may have been his movie, but the trilogy was not his. The story was not his, and the saga definitely wasn't his. He made The Last Jedi from a perspective of, I want this to be my story, and that's it. And I feel like that was the wrong thing to do. This isn't like Zack Snyder, who's working in his own continuity. This is you making a sequel to another story that's set in a saga, and you have to remember that. But that's just me. Nope, they needed to shelve the live-action Avatar as soon as Bright dropped. Bright dropped out of the movie, and we all know what happened there. I don't need to see an aged-up Aang jacking it to Katara, or an Aang-Katara love triangle. Riverdale is enough. Oh my god, I wish that's what they're actually doing. That's right. Oh, that's yuck. That's yuck. I don't need to see that. I just don't care about the live-action thing. I know it's going to be bad. I know... They're going to age up the characters, and everyone's going to be sucking and fucking and clucking and ducking and pucking. Like, no, I don't want to hear... I don't want 27-year-old actors playing these teenagers so they can fuck without people getting in their feelings. Like, no, disgusting. Yo, speaking of that, I have a real big problem with, like, all these high school shows of teenagers fucking. Yes, I know teenagers fuck, but can we get, like, one show... Can we get one motherfucking show that has, like, college kids and adults living life and no more of these, like, high school stories about kids doing drugs and gangbangs and shit? Like, I don't know, something about it makes me very uncomfortable because these actors are not kids, they're adults, and it feels like, I don't know, it feels like it's sending the wrong message, and I don't like it. I don't know. It's just me, though. ShiVP, no offense to Adam Driver, but dang, Ray Ben over Finn? Yeah, I don't know that. Yeah, no offense to Adam Driver, but I'm just saying, when you look at John Boyega, a guy in... Listen, again, I'm not gay, but come on, look at John Boyega and look at Adam Driver. Which one you gonna let clap? I'm gonna let John Boyega clap. Just that's my personal opinion, though. Hiroko Masuda, laughing my ass off. Sex bending. Oh god, that's just nasty. Like I'm just imagining fluids being transferred, like whoosh, 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 and like jizz is just flying out of dicks and ugh. Like, ugh. I don't get people who simp for Adam Driver. John and Oscar are right fucking there. I mean, listen, different strokes for different folks. I know people like their own things, but no. John Boyega is definitely John Boyega is the most erased when it talks to attractiveness in the sequel trilogy. Like, come on, if you're gonna ask me, I think John was the most attractive person in the sequel trilogy, but that's just me. But ugh. Now I'm just thinking about the sex bending now. Just and I'm back to WandaVision. Oh, I'm back to WandaVision, the vibrator sex stuff. Like how does Vision and Wanda have sex? Like is it like can I make the sound on my phone? Can I make the phone vibrate? Like let me see if I can make the phone on my no, I can't. Like here, let me see if I can pull up what it probably sounds like. Vibrating. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up what it probably sounds like. Like this is why I imagine WandaVision sex sounds like. This is why I imagine Wanda and Vision having sex sounds like. And you have Wanda going, like that's what I imagine it sounds like. I have probably lost all my subscribers. I'm going to go back to my channel and there's going to be like one. What a long message saying, sir, cease and desist. Cease and fucking desist. Mercury, wait, are you Mercury from Twitter? Are you my dog, Mercury? 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 I find it funny that the sequel trilogy fans also harass actors and actors like shippers and people like that. Can't turn a blind eye to those fans too. Douches from all sides. Yeah, people like to forget that. See, I don't like to call sequel trilogy fans because there are no sequel trilogy fans. There's sequel trilogy factions. But yeah, people love to forget that John Boyega was attacked, and people like to forget John Boyega was attacked for saying he wasn't into Reylo, and also saying that he didn't like The Last Jedi. People like to attack that Mark Hamill was bullied on Twitter. They like to forget that Anthony Daniels was bullied on Twitter. They like to forget that people bullied Daisy on Twitter even though she wasn't on social media anymore. They just like to call her a drug addict. They forget they bullied Oscar. They bully everyone. So, I don't know. Seems pretty hypocritical to me. But it all comes from the same camp. I'm not going to talk about that camp, but everyone knows where that camp of people come from. Ninth Doctor, WandaVision pegging, does that work? Yes! 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 This is a pegging house! This is a pegging jizz-bending house! Okay, I am definitely canceled after that. Jizz-bending pegging. This is how I want my stream. This is how I want my stream to be remembered. The jizz-pegging bender stream. This is how I want it to be remembered. Mercury, what's up, Kesso? Welcome to the stream as I'm losing my mind. And my voice, actually, too. Because I keep screaming. You guys don't know this, but Mercury is, he is one of the best DC accounts on Star Wars. He is one of the best DC accounts on, well, DC Twitter. He's a giant Snyder supporter, and he is just a cool dude. Like Ego, why are you here? Ego, why are you here? Why are you on my stream, Ego? Why are you on my stream listening to me to talk about pegging? Why are you on my stream, Ego? I love this guy, Ego. I love this guy. We go way back. Well, you guys have heard my most, oh yeah. Hiroko-masa, on that note, I have to run. I haven't eaten all day. Alright, Hiroko, you have a good day. It was great hearing from you. I love you on my stream. I can't wait to see you next time. Mercury, oh bro, ego shit, my page went off, had to get here. Yeah, Mercury, yeah, for you guys watching this stream, because I'm gonna be actually ending my stream, I actually have to call my best friend. I haven't talked to them all day, and we have been waiting to talk about Star Wars. Yeah, that's my day. I talk about Star Wars on my stream, then I go talk to my best friend on Star Wars. One of my best friends. I have a lot of best friends at this point. Mercury is one of the DC golden Twitter accounts where if you follow, you don't regret it. They're a great person, very friendly, very sweet, very, very supportive. Like, they were supportive of me when I was just a little bitch account. So, love Mercury. Great guy, great Twitter account. Ego, I love Ego way back. I'm not gonna say who Ego is, but Ego is a great person, cool as shit, down to earth, lovely man. Want to marry him one day, but he's already married. It sucks. I know, I gotta deal with that. But guys, this stream is coming to an end. It has been 3 hours, 3 long fucking hours, but it felt like 5 minutes. Thank you guys. I love talking to you guys. You have made this little channel into a community, and you've made the community into a home. I'm gonna put a poll up on my YouTube. You guys tell